got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay that, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back.
Cooling down some, but it feels pretty fucking warm.
I got the cash in the bag.
Stumpa.
A happy Saturday night. I would like to send out my heartfelt condolences to our brother Stump Greenwood, who lost an aunt and a good friend over a couple days ago or yesterday or something.
I didn't realize that. Oh, wow. That's terrible.
Other than that, happy Saturday night, everybody.
Hey, Steve, before you do your thing, can I ask you a question?
Yes, as long as I don't have to get naked.
No, please don't. When Dish and I come out to go see you up to visit you and Susie up north, right?
Yeah.
Are you gonna make a bonfire and throw it like that one in your open?
Oh, yeah. We can create a big poo-poo.
Can we do that? All right, good. I'm happy.
Hell yeah. I'll start working on the brush pile as soon as we go up there.
So we got to attend those recordings.
You'll be fucking astronauts from this goddamn space station will be able to see that fire.
That's a regular fire on a Saturday night in New Hampshire. That's how they do it. They do everything like that.
We were. What?
Multi coming and wants you to get naked.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
I do owe them.
Multi Gunman says that a shower is just for taking a shower, so that rules out sex, right?
I suppose. Somebody must not like doing it when they're wet.
I guess not.
We
doesn't
we got into a bonfire competition with somebody's cousin that lived up the hill.
Uh-huh.
And they were kind of rivals. They didn't get along too good. So we had a little bonfire going. It was like party weekend at the pond, which is a cool spot. And they started their bonfire, and their bonfire was a little bigger than ours. So we had to build ours bigger. And it ended up, we were standing up full sheets of 4x8 plywood.
There you go.
And it's trying.
That's a fucking bonfire.
It got a little out of hand.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was standing about 50 feet back with their marshmallows fucking sweating.
You remember that German Shepherd I told you about that my ex-girlfriend and I, went through all this furniture and everything, right? Well, one night I called her brother over, and her and her sister-in-law come over, and then I called my kid brother who was living at my mom's at the time. They just got back from Guam. I said, hey, I'm having a fire down the house. You want to come down? You and Shirley want to come down? He goes, I'm looking at it from here, just wondering how long it's going to take for the fire department to get here. I put a couch in the fucking fire in the fucking fireplace, standing straight up and down.
Well,
you wouldn't believe how fast the couch goes up.
Oh yeah, I would. A lot of people die from them in house fires every year.
We've thrown couches in bonfires before. Of course, our bonfire is house trailers.
I threw couches and chairs, and the whole den chair and all that in the fire at one time. I used back in South Carolina days. We used to make serious ones down there.
That's awesome. Hell, people used to run in barns when they would collapse.
The state forest up there, they had one of the rangers had seen our fire. That damn tower was about 20 miles away. That's the next thing I know, here comes all kinds of damn people down there.
Oh Lord.
They don't
Gerald D, first in. What's up? Mr. Big Dog Leather, what's happening, bro?
Big Dog Leather.
Dish. MCK made it.
Yep, I see that.
And our buddy P NASCARs, what's happening? Mr. Multi Gunman, what's up, brother?
I'm so fucked up.
And that's about it for now. We have 2 ATVs in our life. What's up? And forgive me if I say channel names wrong, because, hey, I got it right on. Miss Shalisa Shell, what's up, Fatwood Queen? Mr. Mikey DeLucia, what's happening, brother?
What's up, kids?
Mr. Controversy himself, Ohio Wolverine, what's happening?
How's it going, brother?
By the way, Mike, we had a great chat last night after you fell asleep.
Did you?
You did. Quite a while.
Poor Mikey.
Lovely Dish Outdoors.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Dish. Did you
Hey.
watch the replay, Mikey?
No. I've been gone. I've been out since. You know what time I woke up?
We had an awesome time watching RTT do some night shooting.
Oh, did you? I don't give a fuck.
We'll see if that gets you a strike or not.
I woke up around 7 o'clock to see if the power. Not to see if the power was on. I woke up to take a piss, and I was in no mood, no frame of mind or health wise to stay up. I didn't even go fishing.
Wow.
And so, I got up, took the leak, had a smoke, went right back to bed. You know what time I got up after that? About 20 minutes to 12.
Wow.
I said to the wife, "Wake me up."
5:30. What's up?
I told the wife, if there's an issue, wake me up. You know, like if this, if with the fridge or anything like that, wake me up. If not, let me be. She's like, okay, I won't bother you.
Right.
You know.
Sometimes you just need it.
Well, I'm all screwed up, right? Because I don't know if this is allergies or if I'm sick. But are you ready for a good laugh? So off air last night before I started the chat, I was talking with Dish, right? And who else was with us? Shalisa, I believe.
Yeah.
Was, right? And I said, I come home. Remember I said I come home from work the other night, sat on my porch, couldn't breathe through my right nostril and everything, right? And my right eye was tearing and burning and all that bullshit, right? So last night it was getting a little. I mean, I had a couple of hauls to try to clear it up a little bit, you know. I woke up this morning and I'm like, oh wow, I can breathe through my nostrils. Beautiful. I didn't make it to the fucking porch before I lit my fucking cigarette. You ready? You ready? Can't breathe out of my left nostril now.
I've had him do that before. And by
I'm
the
like,
way,
are you fucking kidding me right now?
me and Susie both, Susie, everybody. Me and Susie both been waking up every morning clogged up, and our fucking cats are sneezing like they got some kind of hay fever. Ohio. I think it's chemtrails. They're trying to keep us down where we don't want to get in the
I don't know
fight.
what it is, but now my left eye is burning and my left eye is tearing and my left nasal cavity is full. So
That sounds like a good old fashioned 2-week-long cold.
About 8:30 this morning, I took my son. They have a thing to raise like a charity, or not charity, but fundraising thing called Tag Day, where the band goes out and goes to everybody's houses and knocks on the door and begs for money, like kind of like trick or treating.
Yeah.
But I was taking him to the school to drop him off, and when about 8:30 this morning, I walk out and my fucking every car in the driveway is like got this yellow film over top of it for all the pollen. And I'm like,
It's
no wonder
pine
I
tree
feel,
season.
no wonder I feel like
that yet.
shit.
I haven't had. We don't really get pine like that. We don't get that yellow film and all that, and the puddles after it rains and all that until like June.
Yesterday
damn
morning, I woke up with a daggum sheet of frost on top of mine, on top of my yellow truck out there, which originally is a white truck, but it was yellow yesterday.
Freaking keyboard. Having issues.
Fucking let us stick it again, Stevie.
Oh.
Okay. Hey, Stevie, the latest on that, the shooting in Allen, Texas, is that
CPP, what's up?
this says there's 9 dead.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
that's
at
what I
least
heard.
7 more injured.
Yeah, it sounded kind of like a drive. Did the guy actually go in, or was it all out front? It looked like it was all out front to me.
You know, I don't know. I got the alert on my phone and started listening to it and couldn't tell what was going on. But
Change the batteries lately.
What does distemper mean, Peanuts guys?
That's what animals get.
yeah, it's like
Dog.
when the raccoons get it when they come up to you in the daytime and just like, hey, you got any food? You know?
Yeah, and they act like they're drunk and
Yeah.
Can I give an opinion on these public shootings and school shootings? And I'm being serious. I'm being serious too. I really do think these people, they want their 15 minutes of fame, and I think they're doing it. It's like a craze, whatever the hell you call it. The next thing to do.
A
You know
trend.
what I'm saying? A what?
Like a trend?
Yes. And I'm sorry. I swear to fucking God, it's what it is. Don't ask me why they're doing it, because you got to be a sick prick to go on and shoot somebody that doesn't deserve it. I have no problem with shooting somebody that deserves it.
right.
Okay, I really don't. But there's something wrong in your brain that makes you want to go to a public area.
Well, have
and
we
just
got
start
any
fucking
information
pot
on this shooter yet? I mean,
All-
normally
all
we
I
know their
know-
fucking name and where they went to school and what they
Yeah.
did for a living and
Right.
Well, this one
What-
here, they're kind of
what their
hiding.
pronouns are and all that shit. We know
They're
that shit
kind of
10
trying
minutes.
to hide because it was a Hispanic individual wearing a cop-style uniform.
Latino. It's all Dish's fault. I'm sick too, by the way.
So
So I'm sure it will disappear quickly. You know, just saying. And I don't.
you know,
like
there was a police officer already there on an unrelated call. And when he heard the shots, he responded. He's the one that neutralized the guy.
See, now that's
Yay.
But is that the narrative? Is, hey, see how fast these last couple shooters have been killed by police right off as soon as they started shooting, their police officers were there to kill them. The last 3 have been like that.
you're in law
So-
enforcement. Are they supposed to do that?
Well,
We're not blaming the cop here, I hope.
No. We're not.
Oh, then I
blaming the cop at
misunderstood
all.
what you were saying then. I'm sorry.
No. We're saying that you don't need to carry a gun or have a gun because our police are so damn good.
Oh, okay.
And
I see
they're
what you're
doing their
saying.
job to protect
what
and
you're
serve.
Yeah, well, not for nothing.
But that's
Right.
good for somebody who has a cop right there next to him when it goes down.
Right.
But what about
Well-
people who live out in rural America that the cop is, 45 minutes away?
What would have been kind of cool is that one of those people that this asshole was shooting at shot back at him.
Oh, nice.
That would have been fucking cool, because then it would have been, people would be like, maybe
Yeah.
maybe people would second guess themselves and say, you know what? If I shoot somebody, they might have a gun and shoot back at me.
You know,
The
You
thing
know-
is, though, Mike, all the ones where Joe Public has saved the day, they won't
don't talk
report
about.
it. And lately, they've been putting them in fucking jail. They had a guy in New York working in his own business. It was a mechanic's garage, I believe. No, he was working in a parking garage. This guy was going from car to car looking in windows. So he was a good citizen and went after the guy and said, hey, get the F out of here. Unless you're going to your car, get the F out of here. The guy pulled a gun on him, shot him in the fucking head, shot him in the body. He still had enough gumption to wrestle the guy down to the ground, got his gun, and shot the guy back. They put the victim in fucking jail. He woke up in the hospital in handcuffs, and they charged him for having an illegal firearm and attempted murder. That's what they're doing to the good citizens.
Can I comment on what Swamp Donkey just said. Swamp Donkey just said open carry, problem solved. If you guys remember, a bunch of years ago, probably 4 or 5 anyways, I did a chat one night and we labeled it open carry or not open carry. We had a good discussion on that, if you guys remember.
Give me one second.
Go ahead.
James Thornton, howdy from Mississippi. Nice to have you. Sit back and enjoy the show and join in.
Welcome,
ahead,
James.
Mike.
Welcome. This is one of those times where I believe I'm with Theft, because this is one of those times where I think that if there was maybe somebody carrying or something and he's seen it, he might have thought twice. Not saying he wouldn't do it again the next day. Okay, I get that part. But this particular day, maybe those 9 people don't get dead and the 7 people don't get hurt. You know what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
I don't know. I mean, I don't care whether you open carry or concealed carry. I prefer to conceal carry.
Most people do.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying that.
But I don't hold anything against anybody that decides to open carry.
Well, you never know it. Like if there's 4 or 5 people in the crowd open carrying and some jackleg pulls up in his SUV thinking about, open firing, maybe it would make them think twice. ZPD brought up the other shooting in Texas, where some neighbors went over and asked a guy to, supposedly he was drunk, shooting in his backyard at 11 o'clock at night or 10 in Texas. And they asked him to stop, and he came in and killed 5 people.
I thought it was 8.
Honduran people, and the shooter was a Mexican on the run.
Right.
Who is on the run now. Yeah.
And the thing about that shooting,
they caught him. They caught him.
Did they? Okay.
Fine,
He was an
reading what he
illegal
wrote.
alien, so he was already committing a crime by being here.
he had been deported 4 times already and crept back into the country. And he had gun charges on him before, and they didn't put him in prison. Also, they're not talking about what's really fishy. There was one person out of that household that was here legally. There was between 10 and 14 people in that house. They were all shot in the head, for one thing. A random pissed off person don't walk in and aim at people's heads. They just start firing.
That's an execution.
And there was time enough for one of the women to tell her mate, no, you run out and you save yourself. Now, how do you have that conversation when there's a guy in front of you with a rifle and you're able to get out of there? I think that was a targeted assassination.
Yeah. I mean, that conversation had to go something like this. Just go! That's about as fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's no, with a situation, like you said, Stevie, a situation like that, people getting shot in the fucking squash. Here's why I get upset. The guy's been deported 4 times, you said, and he had a gun charge on him.
Yeah.
I'm not crying sour grapes, but I guess I'm gonna. Okay, but I don't mean to.
Yeah, I'm typing.
If we're gonna be across the board on everything, then why is it that? Well, I can't really do that because I'm an American citizen. But how is it that a person that gets deported and he's got a gun charge isn't already in jail?
Because they're letting them walk. They're doing the
Catch
same.
and release, man. Catch and release.
Where I'm a U.S. citizen, and if I get caught without a gun license,
You're going to prison.
I'm going to prison.
Like that. And also these young people they're catching with gun charges, they're letting go. And then they have the guts to complain about it.
It's amazing. It really is.
Dude, I don't even want to tell you what they did in the county where I work. You guys would be so pissed.
Well,
Well, shit.
Well, They
That's
reduced
just mean.
like
Just being
any
mean
like
too.
meth, cocaine, fentanyl, any type of drug like that. That's a felony. They
Yep,
reduced that to a M1.
So
misdemeanor.
basically a
Yep.
pot charge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Reduced all
Wow.
everything. Everything unless you're fucking killing people or almost killing people, they reduced everything down to misdemeanors. They did that during COVID to keep the jails from getting overcrowded with people during COVID. Dude, this is how crazy it was up here. They were letting people out of jail due to COVID. But then you had certain departments. We have these certain departments that are like known for like speed traps and shit like that. These fuckers are going out during remember, because we had a curfew in Ohio. I don't know if you guys had curfews or not.
I think Boston had one, but I don't think
Yeah,
I
and
had
it's
one.
like if you weren't an essential employee or whatever, and you weren't doing something,
Yeah, you
you
could
weren't
be out
going to
after
the doctor, or
9:30
going
or
to the
something.
dentist, or going
Right.
to get groceries or something like that.
Hence the guy getting arrested on the fucking beach surfing by himself.
Right.
Right.
So these smaller departments that do nothing but like run traffic and generate revenue for like tickets and stuff, they were pulling people over and for speeding, and then like, well, what are you doing? You know, are you on your way to work? No, I'm just driving around. You know, whatever. Oh, there's a curfew. You know, so they would arrest them and bring them to jail. And I'm like, we're letting fucking real criminals out of jail because of this fucking COVID shit.
Right.
And now you're bringing people in for
And
for violating a COVID fucking.
Wow.
and just the opposite. Hey, Ohio.
Personally, I think
Just-
the United States is under attack.
Well, just the opposite, Ohio.
For a while.
Okay, just the opposite around here. Well, when I say around here, I don't mean my whole state, but I know in my town, anyways, and the town that I grew up in. Okay, you didn't get pulled over for blowing a stoplight unless you caused an accident. You didn't get pulled over for fucking doing 10 miles an hour over the speed limit unless you were being a moron about it. When COVID was in its fucking heyday, you had to be a fucking total loser to get pulled over. They were told.
Oh yeah.
Nobody's getting pulled over. Nobody's getting the fucking tickets. Do not leave people, because people were already going, you know what I mean, because of COVID,
Yeah.
and they didn't want to add to it. He says, unless you absolutely fucking have to write it, then write it. But if you don't absolutely have to fucking write it,
That's the way it was. We're in the town where I work at. That's what the policy was. Basically,
Yep.
you know, we got interstate going through our town, and the speed limit's 60. And the chief was like, unless they're doing like 100 mile an hour, don't even worry about it. You know, if they're doing 80 and a 60, that's flow of traffic. You know,
Woohoo! Free
and
day.
it's like he's like, the less interactions we have with people, and
Yep.
we started like only responding to like fucking assaults and shit like that. You know, somebody called and said, "Oh, somebody smashed my mailbox." That's too bad. If you want to give us a call tomorrow during business hours, we'll file a report for you. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
But we're not
federal.
coming out there to take a picture of your fucking mailbox,
Right.
because all you're going to do, what are you going to do? Your insurance is not going to cover it because you're deductible, so you're just going to go buy a new mailbox. And we're never going to find the person who hit your fucking mailbox, unless they hit 10 of them on the same street and wrecked their car into somebody's house.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Do you think that started a habit of this, toleration and all this other shit of letting people
It kind of did,
run
but
amok?
Good night, James.
but the courts.
Thanks for
is
coming
what's
in, James.
called it. The court is what has called it.
Right.
And it was going that way before COVID. It really was. And I have a theory, because I live in the area I live in is very liberal when it comes to the politicians around here. It's just everybody's a fucking Democrat, you know? So
like you.
Yeah, like me. So when you have a judge who's a Democrat, who most of the constituents are Democrats, but when they show up in court,
and the prosecutor.
if I slam you with 90 days in jail on your first fucking offense and $1,000 fine, are you going to vote for me when you get out in November?
Right.
Fuck no, you're not.
I hear you.
So if I give you 3 months non-reporting probation and $150 fine, and then we'll expunge that off your record in 6 months,
if you want to
are
go
you
for
going to vote for me next
I'm
month?
going to hold the fucking sign to vote for you.
Right.
Well, our governor just passed a couple of gun laws for, feel good, get people's votes, and they're bullshit laws. They're stupid.
They're probably laws that are already on the books that they just never fucking enforced.
Yeah. One is gun storage. If you have a child in the house, you have to lock up your guns or you can be held accountable.
Yeah.
Which, any good gun owner will do anyhow. But what I want to add to that, if they're going to start making parents liable for some kid getting hold of a firearm and shooting up a school or shit like that, then I want judges and prosecutors that let gun offenders back out on the street or violent offenders back out on the street. They should also be liable.
Yeah, if you lower someone's bond and you don't make them post a bond and you give them a PR bond and let them out on their initial appearance, and then they go out and kill their fucking girlfriend that they just beat the hell out of 2 nights ago.
Yeah. Our Boyd, what's up?
They should be charged with fucking accessory to murder.
Absolutely. Just like the guy they had a gun charge on, they let walk and shot up Michigan State or whichever college that was. By the way, that's where she signed everything in the law on that campus.
Yeah, for fucking photo ops.
Multi. I used to have that same law in Massachusetts, but they don't do it anymore.
But you got to remember, Steve, that your governor shut down all the damn highways so her husband could go fishing. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
All water raised and everything else, so her husband could go fishing.
Rules for thee, but not for me.
Swamp Jockey said, up here, crooks aren't scared of the cops or the courts. Vigilantes are coming.
And by the way, Canada's got more up and coming gun laws. I can't remember what their numbers are in their constitution, whatever.
Yeah, but they can't carry like we can, right?
They can't even own a handgun anymore.
Huh?
They're not allowed to own a handgun anymore.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. They banned all kinds of shit, and there's more bans coming. No ARs and no handguns. And
now the Conservative Party is trying to use an old law, part of their books, on talking about that you could not enforce any type of gun laws or whatever on the native
helping hand or hound.
Right.
So if you got any type of bloodline that traces back to an indigenous person, then you should be allowed to own a gun because it's part of your
it's the way it should be.
Way of life.
Right.
I'm sorry. I love the fact that Native Americans sometimes take advantage in if they're here, they're Native Americans, right? So I know that like the casinos they build, they don't have to pay the taxes and all, and I just think it's absolutely fucking phenomenally great.
All right.
Just how I am.
Absolutely, Swamp Donkey. That's what they're trying to preach. Only crooks have handguns or any guns, according to the fucking liberals.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, I had one. Let me tell you about my first of the week. I went fishing, and I had my 12 gauge in there for snakes, and my 9mm just in case it didn't work. So I had one hell of a boat wreck. I mean, they're both at the bottom of the lake. So I mean,
hold that thought. Shalisa, have a wonderful night. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
Good night, Shalisa.
Shalisa?
Bye.
Getting tired on it, are you?
Huh?
Are you doing a Fatwood Anonymous tomorrow?
Yes.
Cool.
Awesome. See you tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.
Night. Bye, Susie.
Go ahead, 2 ATVs.
I just said I said I had a hell of a boat wreck.
Absolutely. Well,
And
you
I
seen
mean,
my video.
they went out. I sent a salvage crew out, but they found the boat and all, but they didn't find my weapons. So.
Damn it. I just hope you had them on insurance. That's all I got to say. Ooh.
Yeah, Boyd, I hear you. It's it's getting to a point where
Getting to?
people that are anti-gun, okay, are getting equally worse, I believe, than anti-Trump people.
Well,
Yeah,
it's basically the same group.
what I hate is
They are and they're not. They are and they're not. Because there's a lot of fucking people with R's at the end of their names that can't stand fucking Trump. So, but I just
what I hate is all the lies, all the bullshit lies that that the media puts out and then the Democrats put out, and it's just fucking lies. Like the first thing I seen on like social media about this shooting, somebody posted, this is because the Republicans are afraid of the NRA, and this is something like, let me remind you again who's at fault, and they posted this picture. It was like, it's the gun's fault, it's the gun's fault, it's the gun's fault, it's the gun, and that's all it said over and over. I'm like, Jesus Christ, how? I mean, you just. What's wrong with you?
And another thing is, they're publicizing and using gang shootings and trying to sell them like a good guy had a gun and shot up a Sweet 16 party or some fucking thing.
Yeah, you got. I mean, but you take Chicago. It's got one of some of the damn toughest gun laws in the world.
Yeah.
But yet they 50 or 60 people get shot every weekend in Chicago.
Our Boyd, I'm with you, brother. I am so over this bullshit.
Well, it's not a Republican or Democrat anymore. They're a fucking uniparty. I mean, once you get up, you got to get up there and get the fucking power. It don't make no damn difference, Republican or Democrat. They just go about it. It's the same damn animal. They just go about it a different way.
Yep.
Well, I disagree with you a little bit on that, because not all Democrats are gun grabbers, but all gun grabbers have been Democrats.
Hear, hear.
So, you got Joe Manchin in West Virginia. He knows better. He never totes that fucking party line when it comes to the coal mines and energy, like energy and fossil fuels.
Right.
And guns. He never totes that fucking Democratic line. He always goes against it, and he takes shit for it all the time.
But the reason Manchin does that is because his state is turned red, and if he didn't fight for those couple things, that he wouldn't be in there anymore.
That state is not red. I can guarantee that. It might have voted red when it was Romney versus Obama, and then when it was Trump versus Clinton, yeah, they're going to go red. But every other fucking politician in that state, they vote in Democrats, because the people love their handouts down in West Virginia, buddy. They like that welfare check. They like that, going in and trying to put a square peg in a round hole and pretending that they're crazy and getting a check every month for it. They like their benefits. They like the government handouts down there, because there's no real jobs unless you work the coal mine.
Well,
so
I mean, but down in the southern part of West Virginia, that's all you can have down there. I mean, there ain't no fucking flat land to put anything else down there.
Well, I know. I mean, they built a Walmart between the mountains, and Walmart hires 300 or 400 people for minimum wage. But what good does that do you? Why go to work? Why go to work for minimum wage or for $11 an hour when you can stay home in your double wide trailer, have a 2023 Chevy full-size pickup truck, cable TV, and live off the government.
Right.
You know,
KCPD, in case you didn't hear me.
I know that's exactly what's going on down there because that's where my family's from. That's where my dad lives. And
Well,
I've got cousins that fucking won't hit a lick. They're worthless. And I'll say it right now. Like my family's fucking worthless down there.
the thing about
I got probably count on one hand, probably 5 of my cousins that live down there that actually work for a living, you know? The rest of them are all on a damn check or something. Or they'll go get a job at a coal mine, work there for about 2 weeks, and then hurt their back or something, you know?
Yeah.
Magically get hurt and can't work the rest of their whole fucking life.
I've seen a lot of it where COVID made it even worse. People got used to sitting home, and now it's like crazy. You know, like me, I quit my job.
Yeah, but the teachers though, but you're like retirement age, man. You know what I mean? But these teachers, they're having this big thing right now where these teachers in the union are going to the fucking state house or they're going to the, you know, the Capitol or whatever, and they're having congressional meetings and shit and hearings, and they're not talking about what we need to do if this ever happens again to keep the schools running and protect our children and get the education. They're all talking about how are we going to shut it down and how are these teachers going to continue to get paid while the students stay at home, and how are we going to teach these kids while they're at home?
Yeah,
they don't want to come to work.
But the thing about that is, Ohio, is they said here at a school here, where we're in the county we're in, every kid had a damn laptop computer.
Yeah.
And they had lessons every day, but they had nobody to teach them how the hell to do it. I mean, we sat here for a year and a half, helping a little 13-year-old that was failing in math and all kind of stuff because she didn't understand how to do fractions. She didn't know how to do all kinds of stuff. And here they're trying to teach Common Core, and I'm trying to explain it to her my way of doing things. You know, trying to teach her at least so she can pass it. And
you know why something just popped into my head. Do you know my idea why they quit teaching cursive in school? Because you can't type cursive on a computer.
Yeah, that's the reason. Yeah, everything's done on a computer now. You don't handwrite anything. There's no handwriting. Like all my kids, when they turn in their papers and reports and notes, it's all on the computer.
Yeah.
And my thing is with my kids, I would wake them up. You know, I come home because I was working third shift. I'd come home and wake them up at like 7:30, and they'd get up, use the bathroom. You know, they wouldn't even get out of their fucking pajamas, dude. They would just comb their hair so their hair wasn't sticking up. Maybe wash their face a little bit, get the sleep out of their eyes. They'd sit at the dining room table, flip open their fucking laptop, type, and then they would do like a roll call. And as soon as they would be like, here, he'd turn the fucking camera off, shut the computer, and go back to fucking bed.
Wow.
And I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, well, we're not. She's going to send us an email with all of our worksheets that we need.
Yeah. Well,
so they didn't like stand in front of like a Skype screen like we're doing and just, you know, say, well, this is, you know, blah, 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 and teach, you know. They just, I'll send you some worksheets through your emails, and you have till next Friday to get those done, turn them in to me, and I'll grade them. That's how they went to school for a year and a half. And our kids got super stupid and dumb because of that.
And antisocial. And just to let everybody know on the outside, I'm reading all your comments. My stupid typewriter or my keyboard quit working. I'm sitting there trying to type and answer you and stuff, and it's like, argh.
Yeah, but our boy, there's so much about the farmland and stuff like that. These mega farms, they're owned by Bill Gates and China and every damn where else. So that is why the farmers are having such a hard time right now, because they're using the stuff that that they use for fertilizer, they're using it. They said that they tried to outlaw everything they use for fertilizer.
Yeah.
So, in other words, if you ain't Amish and start using cow shit, chicken shit again,
please don't use turkey shit because that stuff stinks worse than anything I've ever smelled in my life. Oh my God. Holy. I was up at my uncle's and the Amish fellow across the road was spreading turkey shit. It was so bad in the air you could taste it. We were trying to have a conversation in between gagging.
but yeah, it was a lot of it is in Germany. They're avoid, but regardless, the U.S. is basically trying to they're trying to stop the U.S. farmers too because of the fact that.
Speaking of China, I'm hearing reports now that Chinese nationals are coming over our border from Mexico.
Well, yeah.
Of course.
And they're tracking another balloon, a Chinese balloon, over in between us and Hawaii right now. Instead of just shooting the fucker down, they're tracking it.
It's an invasion, is what it is. It's a slow invasion. You know, you've all heard the analogy. If you take a frog and you throw it in boiling water, he's going to jump out. But if you put a frog in that water and then turn the heat on and increase it a little bit by a little bit, he don't even know he's cooking himself. Right. So that's what we're doing. ZPD, they're just coming in. They're just coming. They're just creating sleeper cells all over our country.
Right. ZPD rabbit poop is like the best fertilizer. Oh, caught them in Florida too. Great. Thanks, Helping Hound. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. I have a feeling somebody's going to turn on a switch and then our country will be gone and we won't even hardly know it.
Well, China's trying to buy this farmland up or whatever, and no one's really paying attention. They talk about, oh, they're trying to buy farmland. They're trying to buy farmland. What are they going to do with all this farmland? Have you noticed where the farmland is all at?
No, I mean, yeah, but
they're all next to. They're all the land that they're buying. They're trying to buy is acreage next to military bases.
Well, ain't that cute?
Isn't that convenient?
Ding Dong that bought up all the farmland is probably selling it to him.
Yeah, Bill Gates.
But you know what? Though? I looked it up, and China's like 10th of owning U.S. property. Like the Netherlands owns more than anybody. Canada owns more than anybody else. Canada owns more U.S. land than any other country, than the Netherlands and I think Belgium and Germany and stuff like that. China's like 10th.
Wow. Fuzz Fork 8, I certainly hope so. Biden will be guilty of treason on May 11th, 2023. I have a feeling they're going to do something with Biden and then put Kennedy in there so people will vote for the Kennedy name.
You'll never see a Democrat fucking impeached and arrested as a presidential office. Never. It won't happen.
I hope.
You can fill up hope in one hand, shit in the other, and see which one fills up faster. I'll tell you, it's going to be shit because it ain't ever happening.
Dude, you haven't seen me shit. I could pretty much fill up both hands.
Yeah, but I'm saying, if they, if they couldn't do it to Trump, then they'll never do it to a Democrat, because they tried like hell to do it to Trump. It's tough. It's not a simple task of just
Yeah, but
Trump has got to be the most investigated human being on earth.
But the thing about it is Robert Kennedy with Kennedy though, that he's talking more like Trump than the Republicans are. So I mean,
yeah, we got to watch out for the rhinos too. Just because they're Republican, don't vote for them. Check them out and see how they voted. That's all public knowledge crap. There was a lot of Republicans in Michigan that voted on all kinds of Democratic bills and shit.
Yeah.
There's some crap going on in Florida too, our boy, where they're trying to reverse a bunch of crap and make people who own firearms look bad and this, that, and the other. What else was I going to bring up? I just thought of it and it went out of my brain. That happens. Susie's fault. She tapped me on the arm and made me erase. Oh. the fucking slave labor. I predicted this live on this chat a couple of months ago about letting all the immigrants come across the border for basically they'll have the new slave labor. People have been busted, and especially children, sending children across the border, delivering them to a caretaker.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, they're working in some sweatshop or picking lettuce in the field somewhere for shit wages. It was on the news with documents and all kinds of good shit on it.
Yeah. And our boy, I was from South Carolina, so as long as you got Lindsey, if y'all keep voting Lindsey Graham in, y'all are, South Carolina is doomed to start with.
Yeah.
I mean, he is not. He is the biggest rhino up there. So.
Yeah.
But I
Did
mean,
you see?
Give me a minute. Susie's going to go to sleep.
All right. Good night, Susie.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, Susie.
Good night.
Yeah,
Did you see that the Republicans introduced that like women's sports protection act or whatever to protect women's sports against transgender men just taking over?
Yeah.
And not one Democrat voted to protect women in sports. Not one. They all voted all against it.
Yeah, whatever happened to women's rights, they were all behind and all that shit. That tells you right there. They swing with the wind. All they're doing is trying to make people happy so they'll vote for them. And they don't care who they shit on their way to the top.
That's why I said, man, if we pass a law that fucking all abortions be performed with an AR-15, then AR-15s would be fucking safe. We wouldn't have to worry about them trying to ban them at all.
There's your mission for the week. Try to convince a Democrat of how great AR-15s are.
Hey, you know what? I mean, if you want to use an AR-15 to perform a 9-month abortion, that's fine. Do it. It's a woman's right? Her body, her choice, right? No one thinks about morality when it comes to that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But morality is between you and the big man upstairs.
Yeah, but that's the problem with the left and the progressives and the radicals is they have no morality.
Well, that's how
they know it's fucking wrong to kill a baby at 9 months when that baby can survive outside the womb at 9 months, but they want to kill it anyway. And it's a woman's choice because she decides at 9 months she doesn't want to have a baby anymore. She should be able to kill that baby. They know that's wrong, but they won't. But they will not speak up against it. They will just say it's a woman's right.
Yeah.
They know it's wrong.
But they act all like they care about you and your safety, but they really don't because they don't care if you kill as many babies as you want to kill.
Right.
And I understand the point, raising 2 daughters, to a right, if something goes wrong or something's not right, a right to protect the woman and all that. I completely, like Chris Rock says, you are still killing a baby.
Right. But that situation is a situation that hardly ever happens. You look that up and there's hardly ever a situation where you have to terminate the baby in order to save the mother's life.
Right.
It's rare.
Wait. Hold on. My wife did.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Not rare. It's not rare. It's not rare.
It is
I'm
rare.
telling you, Dan.
Look it up. I mean, it
It is
happens.
definitely rare.
It does happen,
I
but
mean-
it's rare.
We lost the one at 21 weeks. If she lasted 2 more weeks, they could have put her in ICU and saved her.
Right.
I mean,
But
this baby was born
compared-
alive. She was
What
born alive.
Ohio's saying is compared to the whole number.
I don't understand what all this shit is. Can't hear.
I have a feeling somebody's angry.
Yeah, but they don't fucking open their ears either, so they don't listen to what someone's actually saying.
Well, I'm gone, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Have a
Yeah.
good night. That's a chance you take when you open sensitive subject.
Yeah, but they didn't listen.
Let me tell you
It's
something.
too personal to listen in
Right.
their case, or in
Right.
a lot of people's case. But you're absolutely correct. In the whole of things,
In the whole scheme of things, yes,
yeah,
it's rare.
just like it's rare for a good guy to take an AR against innocent citizens.
But it still happens.
Pinpointing the fucking bad guys.
Yeah, Mikey, I didn't say it didn't happen.
But it
I
still
didn't
happens.
say that at all.
So the point that she was making, I'm thinking, was my guess, is that it still happens. Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't.
If
but
I didn't
deny
listen
that.
to me, my last born, my camera girl. Okay. Gina wanted natural birth. Okay. She said 2 things. I'm having a natural birth, and if you let them, what is the name of it? Give her a spinal tap.
Epidural.
Yep, no,
Epidural.
she said, I will kill you. Because Gina's a nurse. She's been through it all. She's seen what happened. She sees what happened, what the effects are and all that.
Yeah.
And she said, if you allow them to do to me, till this fucking day, almost 17 years later, when the subject come up, she gets mad at me. Okay? Because they came in and they said, Mike, you right now need to make a decision. Okay? We're taking her a C-section. I said, no, you can't. She said, you're doing natural. She says, Mike, you right now, you're not hearing us. You right now are making a decision. Okay? I says, well, what am I making a decision on? It's either your wife or your daughter, because we have to deliver this baby C-section because there's an issue. So,
Yeah, my son was delivered. Both of my sons were delivered C-section, and the second one was scheduled because the first one was
Surprise.
there was an issue, there was a problem, and you don't know until you try. You know, she was in labor for 18 hours before they said, "Hey, we need to go. We need to have a C-section because if we don't, there's going to be issues." Right. But that's not what I was talking about.
and I had a friend of mine that was 17, lied on the thing, said she was 18. Okay. That I took her because her boyfriend was a douchebag. Okay. That she would have been thrown out of her house, shunned the whole night. She's Irish, the whole thing. Okay. And everything. And I kept telling her, I said, you don't have to do this. You can come live at my house. You know? And she said, it's no way I can do this, Mike. Okay. I'm her friend. What am I going to do? Tell her no?
Right.
So I skip school. I take her in town, and she does what she does. And I held her hand on the way home. As soon as I saw him, I punched him square in the mouth. And I go, it has nothing to do with anything. You know, you're with her, like it's cool and all that. I said, but you're a douchebag. I said, because you're not helping her, you're not supporting her, and you're not doing anything like that. I go, you're a douchebag. You know what I'm saying? It's not as easy and simple as, well, you get to kill babies and we can't. You can't just throw that shit out there like that. It's a very, like Stevie said, it's a very, 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 very touchy fucking subject that you can't do that. It's because it's not as touchy with me as in like when what's his
But the
name?
thing is, you have to have open conversations.
You can, but it's like
I understand it's touchy.
it's like when people break my balls about Watertown. Okay, first of all, people didn't live here; they watch it on TV, and as we all know, social media and TV or what? It's like watching a movie, right? So they only see a little bit. They don't see all of it. You know what I mean? I've heard people online here, and we were in the chat with Matt and all those guys, David and Johnny and all them, and they were all saying how wrong it was for the people of Watertown to clap for the police department after they just went door to door and broke in people's houses and did it, which they didn't. But they kick them in. They make it sound like they went with battering rams, which they didn't batter ram any fucking house that there was on any street that they went to. Okay, and so the people of that city decided to cheer for the cops in a way of saying thank you for catching the losers. Okay, and they were made fun of. So yeah, I'm a little touchy when it comes to Watertown. I can only imagine how some women could be touchy with that subject. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because it's personal to them. I understand that.
Right, and you got to understand that when it's personal to somebody, you gotta walk on eggshells.
No, I don't have to walk on eggshells around anybody.
Okay,
my rights don't stop for your feelings.
You're
Simple
right.
as that.
They
I don't give a fuck who you are.
But you still gotta.
No, I still ain't got to do shit.
Well,
but the thing is,
that's the reaction you're gonna get out of people, though.
Well, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Fine.
It's fine with me. I'm okay with it. It doesn't. My day is going to go on. It doesn't bother me. The thing is, though, I'm talking about the morality of the thing at 9 months. And no one was listening to that part. As a just because,
Oh, absolutely. They were trying to get it, where.
But I mean, we live in a country where if you do not want to be a mother, you can decide that you don't want to be a mother, whether that's early in the pregnancy or after the child has been born. After that child's been born, you can take that child to any police or fire station, drop that child in a box, shut the door, walk away.
And again, most people don't do that. And again,
So,
the vast majority of people don't fucking drop their kid off at a police station. They have to go through the proper channels and go to adoption agency. But go ahead.
Well, I mean,
yeah, again,
like you just said a minute ago, the vast majority.
That would be a rare occasion.
Exactly. Very rare.
But I'm saying that opportunity is out there. You can decide you don't want to be a mother early in the pregnancy. There's a point where you can't. There's certain states that have laws where you can't, in late term abortions and stuff like that. But then after that child's born, if you decide you still don't want to be a mother, you can drop that child off, no questions asked.
Yeah,
but can you decide that you don't want to be a father, Mikey? And just be hands-free and walk away?
Yeah. Anytime I don't want to be, you want to bet 1,000?
No, you're going to have to pay for that child because you're going to take a paternity test. They're going to find out that you are the father and you got to pay until that child's 18.
Anytime I don't want to be a dad, all I have to do is drink a Budweiser. And I'm no longer a dad.
I'm being serious.
You're out.
Excuse me. So the fuck aren't I?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So the fuck aren't I?
Because your ass would
I'm going to be single.
House, right?
I'm going to be single.
Yeah.
And none of my children will fucking talk to me.
Right. But you're still responsible for them.
Monetarily. Until they reach the age of 18.
But I'm saying you can't walk away
from
that.
I have one that's already 18.
You never want to be a father.
And one that's going to be 17. So I got a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? At any point in time, when they were babies.
When they want to change the laws to where a man can just say, I don't want to be a father, don't want nothing to do with that child, and just walk away and not have to pay for it, then you can make abortion legal as you want to be.
They do. They do have that. You can. The people upstairs took their Sean upstairs actually has his cousin's child. They legally adopted his cousin's child because the mother was an addict. The father was a drinker. Both mother and father signed their parental, what do you call it, away.
Signed your parental rights away. Right.
So,
and
yeah,
that child
they're
was
no
adopted.
longer parents of that child.
Right. But that child was adopted. Right?
Correct.
But if he did not want to be a father from, when she said, I'm pregnant, and he goes, I don't want to be a dad.
Sign your fucking parental fucking rights away.
You can sign your parental rights away all you want, but you still have to pay child support.
No, you most certainly fucking don't.
Yeah, you do, bud. I'm telling you.
No, you fucking don't.
There were two ladies, in a relationship. Get this shit. Who went to a sperm bank. It was one of the ones because they wanted a child. It was one of the ones where you get to look at the file and see the person and see that, oh, he's got blue eyes, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Yeah.
You pick your fucking, mix the batter together and pick it, right?
Right.
After that child was born, you know what they did?
Gave it up for adoption.
They filed for child support against that guy and fucking won. And
well, that's fucking just...
It's bullshit, yes.
And shame on him for putting all his shit and fucking all his eggs in one basket.
Should have made her swallow.
If I'm going to be a sperm donor, do you think for a half a millisecond my name's going on any piece of paperwork?
Yeah, no shit. But I bet
you know my name is Tom Smith. Okay? Tom Smith. My phone number is 555-555.
Right.
Horseshit.
Oh, there you go, Fuzz Fork. We need more kids to turn trans, and there would be no abortions. So anyhow, back to the libtards.
To send you some knowledge, what you said is one.
In anti-gun shit, we're safer. Well, the thing kind of happened to our Boyd. He was going to sign his rights away, and the lawyer said, "Don't even bother because you're still paying."
Yeah. Yeah, when you sign your rights away, that doesn't mean you sign your responsibility to pay for that child. It just means that you don't get to have any say in what happens in that child's life.
Well, it's to the point. I don't know about all states, but at least in some states, if you step in as a stepfather and raise that kid, from 3 to whatever age, and then you decide, you get a divorce, whatever. Stepfathers are getting child support for that child that they stepped in to help raise.
Well, how many people have you seen where this case just goes to my buddy's case? His ex-wife,
yeah, I read it.
What was this? His ex-wife was engaged to another man for 7 years. They never got married until the child was 18. Because if they would have got married, my buddy could have said, well, she remarried.
And this is why I think it's a state issue.
And now they have a stable family together or whatever.
Right.
And, and then, yeah, it was crazy. And if you adopt some, if I have a child and, I'm paying child support, to my ex, and Steve marries my ex, and then he adopts that child, and they change the last name of that child to Steve's last name, that pretty much gives me the right to file to no longer pay for child support.
First of all,
that child does have a adopted father now.
First of all, in that statement there, Mr. Studley, no other fella could marry your ex-wife and keep up to your standards. So don't worry about that ever happening. Yeah, I've heard the rumors.
I think it's got to be a state thing. It's like here in Massachusetts years ago, if you live with somebody longer than 7 years or longer, you were considered common law marriage.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Every state has, because that's not. Not
And-
Ohio. I'll tell you that
Well,
right now.
and we just got rid of that, like, I don't know, 15 years ago. So it was common law marriage. So, assets were assets. And if you broke up, she got this, whatever. They got rid of all that. Okay. But my daughter went trans, dude. But I think it's just the way the states are on anything else. Whatever the rules are, because like I said, these kids have no. Even before they were adopted them and they were living with, before the young boy that lives upstairs, before they adopted him, but he was still living with them. Okay, you understand what I mean? He was living with his mom and dad now. Okay, the people had already given up parental, what do you call it, but they hadn't adopted them yet. They're done. They didn't get nothing. They didn't. You know what I mean? It's that's why I think it's got to be a state thing. Which and I'm going to be honest with you. Kudos to an addict and an alcoholic for having the smarts. To give up your fucking parental fucking.
The know yourself.
Because they had no, and they're not. Neither one of them have ever tried to get clean or sober. Okay, and I say kudos to them because now the kid has a shot at life.
Right.
Okay, whereas he wouldn't if he was still with her, or at least one of them. You know what I'm saying? So
now phasing over to that part of that subject, SAS Screen 13, what's up? Our adoption system needs to fix a bunch of bullshit, especially when it comes to how expensive it is. A friend of mine adopted 2 kids. He had to go to Russia because he could not afford to adopt kids.
Right.
Here.
It should be easier to adopt kids that are already here, not go over to Cambodia and bring
And a
kids
lot
back.
of people are doing that. And by the way, you have to be like a fucking altar boy too. I would never be able to adopt it. Like if Gina and
They passed all the background checks.
Well, that's
and
what I'm saying.
Shit and all
If Gina and I,
and then when they seen how much money they wanted, it's like, holy shit, they couldn't do it.
I don't think those kids, when people adopt those kids from Cambodia and Honduras and all that shit, I don't think those kids are actually up for adoption. I think they're fucking like just stolen. You know what I mean? I think the government's probably taking that money for the adoption fee.
If Gina and I couldn't have kids, right? And she said, "Hey, Michael, let's adopt." I'd have to look her square in the eyeball and say, "Why don't you adopt? I'll move out, then I'll move back in with you." Because my name can't go on anything. Because my record's not going to allow that to happen.
Right.
And that's what I would have told her.
Helping Hound brought up a good subject. Speaking of stepdad stuff, how do we prevent things like what happened in Oklahoma, for fuck's sakes, for happening? They had a guy in prison for rape and other sexual laws he broke. While he was in prison, he was caught texting, how he had a phone in prison, I'll never know, texting and sharing explicit pictures with a minor, and had another charge pending for him. They let that motherfucker out of prison pending trial instead of go ahead and charging him while they had him. He ended up killing his whole family and 2 innocent girls that were spending the night.
Oh, is that like the 6 people that died or something like that? They found like 7 people.
Because,
and then he owns himself too, right?
Yeah, because he didn't want to go back to prison.
Man.
They had the guy and let him go with new charges.
Well, how do they get drugs and phones and stuff and contraband into prison?
Yeah, no shit. How do they do it?
Somebody's orifice, or somebody that's working in the fucking.
Somebody's working.
Somebody's working the correctional system allows it to happen.
One of the officers are bringing in, but being in the in the business for so many years, I can tell you who most likely it is that brings in the contraband.
Yeah, because they bring it through their orifices.
No,
No,
most
the
likely
people
who
who
brings
work
it in
there.
is the kitchen staff, because most of the prison's kitchen staff are they're third party outsourced, so they're not state workers, or they don't work for the Department of Corrections. They work for companies like Marriott, Sodexo, Aramark,
Right.
because they work, and then they do their own background checks and everything, and then they come in and they have inmate workers helping them, and then the inmate worker starts flirting with her a little bit because she's usually kind of a homely girl that never had a boyfriend. They flirt with her a little bit, they get her to bring some cigarettes in, sneak them a
Hey,
cigarette
cutie.
over here and there, and then they get them to bring a little bit of the maybe marijuana next time, and then
Yeah.
and then sneak in a phone, and then sneak in some fucking meth, and that's how it's done, man. There's a great article online called Downing the Duck. And that person's what they call a duck. Prisoners call that person duck, whether it be kitchen staff, maintenance,
Somebody they use.
or a corrections officer. A lot of times, you can get like a corrections officer that gets the perfect one to grab is if me and Steve are corrections officers and we're working in the area, and I rip his ass because he did something wrong, and an inmate overheard it or seen it. As soon as I leave the room, that inmate goes up to Steve and says, "Man, that wasn't right how he did to you, man, in front of everybody like that. He should never. That should have been behind closed doors, man. You're a good officer, dude. Everyone here really likes you. Blah 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 blah." So then they're filling your head full of shit. The next thing you know, Steve's bringing in fucking cigarettes and extra Twinkies and shit like this for a few of the guys that he likes. And then they say, "Hey, if you don't fucking bring me in this, I'm going to tell on you for bringing in those Twinkies and cigarettes for him."
Right.
So now he's stuck. Do I lose my job over some Twinkies or cigarettes, or do I bring in a fucking bag of weed for this other guy? And it's just a fucking vicious circle. And a lot of them fucking COs and nurses, nursing staff at prisons and stuff, they all get into that. They all get in trouble.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. But still, I don't understand how you can have charges while in prison and then they let you out of prison. Is there some kind of...
Well, I mean, if you're in prison, say you're in prison for a year, right? And they're investigating you, and you get out in 1 month. 1 month, your time's up, but they got this other case on you. Okay? So they charge you, they indict you. Okay? Your time is up in a month. So that month comes by, you get let out of prison. Now, should you be indicted and charged and go to a county jail? Probably.
Yeah.
Might have slipped through the
Straight to the courthouse.
Right, or to the courthouse or something. But they can't keep you in prison longer than your time, because that, even though you're indicted on another charge, you're not guilty of that charge yet. So you can't be held in prison on that charge.
Right.
So they let you go.
Right. Same with if they're holding you. Same thing if they're holding you on bail, and you can't afford the bail. Okay, you're in prison for fucking 2 years, and then they give you 6 years in prison. Well, you already did 2, so now you have to do 4 years.
Yeah, you get time served.
Time served, right? Fuzz, I'm with you, kid. I've been there and done that, and I'm doing it all over again. So yeah, you're right. It does blow, and you have no choice but to move on, because if you don't move on, not that you move on.
Yeah, you don't move on. You live.
You live on like you wrote it. And it does blow.
Hey, Gunpowder, you have a link, hon, if you want to come on.
I buried a 15-year-old, and now I'm going to be doing another one. Huh?
I said, if Gunpowder comes on, be prepared.
Why? I haven't done nothing wrong.
Oh no, be prepared.
I ain't prepared. I ain't worried about her. She's a Texas broad.
I'm not worried about her either. I'm worried about you.
Don't worry about me. She's a Texas broad. I ain't worried about Texas broad.
Yeah.
But so yeah, and Boyd, I hear you. It does suck, kid. So I'm with you.
Right.
A helping hound. How the hell are you tonight?
Yeah, that was disgusting crime. I was like, what the fuck? Oh,
Dish them out of Pepsi.
and then the
Oh, yeah.
cops
No,
opened the cops shut down a crime scene until they were done investigating.
Here you go,
And
Mikey.
from what I hear,
thank you.
the
How
cops
do I do that?
the cops let go of the crime scene and let people come in and get their belongings.
Yeah.
And left a bunch of computers and shit behind. This dude might have been sharing stuff with other people that could have been busted. You know what I'm saying? It's getting crazy. It's way past getting crazy. It's nuts out there.
It is.
I want to disconnect so bad.
You know, it's just, and I think a lot of times people just, like you said, Stevie, you just want to disconnect, unplug, and say, fuck you, I'm not plugging back in again. And,
Yeah, but if you want to live, it sucks you back in.
it all depends. You can live without it. You can live without social media. You can live without all the shit. We did it before.
Hey, girl.
There you go, Mikey.
Hi.
What's up, Katie?
You're right.
Listen, fucking the big guy on top of me over here. Did I just say that out loud?
That's
So
right.
he's saying I better watch out. Katy Perry's mad at me or whatever. What's going on?
I didn't say she was mad at
Oh,
you.
I should be afraid of you or something.
That gorgeous blue hair he was
I
trying to warn
said
me-
when the
warn
blue.
you about.
I just knew that when the blue hair came back, you'd be like,
Well, I am.
She
I was
went
kind
back
of hoping
crazy.
to get my ass kicked so I can see you in the blue hair and black leather.
Stump Greenwood FC. Nice to see you, brother.
I can totally do that.
Condolences, man.
Do that. I got the leather boots somewhere around here.
The what?
Next election.
I got some really pretty leather boots around here
Mikey,
somewhere.
you want leather boots? I got leather boots, bro.
No, you.
Want me to put these on for you?
No.
I even got some Ariat Fat Baby boots I can kick your butt in.
Sass, that's a good question. We don't know. That's the whole problem.
I have a feeling it's going to be a big old tragic. We're going to see 4 more years of Democratic bullshit.
Well, I don't think you're going to see.
Oh, I can guarantee you're going to get 4 more years of Biden if Trump is the Republican nominee. You're going to get 4 more years of Biden.
Right, but I don't think he got it because I don't think he'll live that long.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't matter to them. They're just,
he's old and stupid.
Pulling his strings now will step forward.
Right.
SKSU.
But the thing is, they're going to get somebody up against Trump who everybody's starting to trust now. Down in Florida, guy who's
I don't think so, man. He's getting a bad rap on a lot of stuff.
That's what I'm worried about.
The fucking
hiring in a turncoat.
Hey,
you know who? He's got his feelers out. He's got a crew or some type of people that are like looking into it for him to decide if he wants to run or not. See,
DeSantis.
They're doing polls and stuff and trying to see if he would have enough to, But Tim Scott, I'd vote for Tim Scott, South Carolina.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit about him.
Dude, I mean, you know what? I mean, if we just turn the tables. If you don't vote for him, then you're a racist bigot, right?
Yeah, kind of like you were when you didn't vote for Trump. Just saying.
No. I mean, Tim Scott's black, so therefore, if you don't vote for him,
God forbid.
Right? If you don't vote for him, you're a racist bigot. So therefore, I would love to have him run.
Yeah, I'm helping Hound. I'm not.
Tim Scott with the Candace. Tim
hey,
Scott.
SKSU, go.
Hey, Tim Scott with Candace Owen as his vice president, as his running mate.
No, I'd take Candace Owens in one of the offices. She's almost. I've been watching her podcast a little bit. She's almost too right. She's pretty.
Yeah, it's down the straight and narrow.
Yeah, to the point where it's like, man, I don't want to listen to this. She's like that super strict mom, you know?
Well, it's not. they don't want a guy like Trump that shoots from the hip, and you don't have to worry about knowing what he is thinking because it comes out of his mouth.
Oh, and by the way, bump stocks are legal again. Anybody wants to go buy one?
You know, it's just, I don't know.
For how long, though, Steve? You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter. It's a piece of shit. And by the way, Stump didn't. Stump. Sorry, Stump, to use your name like that. Trump didn't ban bump stocks. He told the ATF to do something about it. So once again, it was the ATF making up and changing their fucking minds. They're getting their ass handed to them
well, it was
Congress right now.
It was the DOJ. Trump told the DOJ to do something about it, and they had the ATF do something about it. But still, the order came from him, so you're not ever going to convince me on that one any differently. You know what I mean? And I understand what he was doing. I really do. He
was stroking the fucking.
Let's give him a piece of plastic, you know. But the problem is when you give them an inch, they want to take a fucking mile.
Well, which they're trying to do, but so far, our big court has stood up for the good side.
That's human nature, anyways, right? No matter what side you're on.
Yeah, you give me a slice of cake and go to bed and leave it in the refrigerator.
I'm gonna eat the rest of it on you.
That's fucking. You're a terrible person, man.
I feel terrible.
It's the biggest headache. It's the biggest headache in game that you can play is politics, because it's
politics,
right? It's a dog eat fucking dog world when it comes to that bullshit.
Yeah.
My thing is though, what I hate about it is the check marks going down the list. You know, it's like, you know, I'm going to put a D by my name, so therefore I got to be anti-gun, pro-abortion, anti-this, pro-this, anti-this, pro-this, pro-this. You know, it's like, God, what, can't anybody just think for themselves? You know what I mean?
I've always been like that.
I'm pro-gun. I am not like anti-abortion. I don't like it.
Oh, I didn't mean like that.
Because it's a morality thing for me, and it's like you said, no matter what you're doing, you're still killing cops. I don't like it, but I understand there's a purpose behind some of it, you know. But then, you know, I'm not anti-gay marriage. I don't care. I mean, if you don't want a gay marriage, then don't get one. If you don't like gay marriage, don't get one. But everybody else deserves to be just as miserable as me. So fucking let them get married.
I've heard of a lot of gay divorces not long after they got married. It's like I told you.
Thank you, Buzzbook.
I've got a gay friend. She's been married 4 fucking times. I'm like, when are you going to stop this shit? You know, just because the government and the law said you can't get married, don't mean you should.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuzzfork, remove the fucking Patriot Act, please. That's where they're getting all their.
A lot of that stuff is supposed to be coming off on its own. The way they wrote it.
They're pushing the Patriot Act 2.0, bud.
Well,
with this fucking internet shit and this TikTok, the bit to trying to ban TikTok. You know.
Yeah, but they didn't put that under the Patriot Act, did they?
Look into that bill.
I don't think
the laws.
I don't think they put that under the Patriot Act.
No. I'm saying the new one. The new thing that they're trying to do is ban TikTok and take over a bunch of internet stuff is basically 2.0 of the Patriot Act, because it allows the government to take over all kinds of shit on your personal information on your. People are like, oh, ban TikTok, you know, and they're pushing for it because it's, you know, getting our kids information and our kids aren't paying attention. And if you look into that fucking bill, dude, it is scary of all the stuff that they've taken over of your personal information and what they can do with it.
But yet they let Chinese spy balloons fly right over the country, taking pictures of everything. You know why they don't like TikTok? They're probably not making a profit from it. They're not getting a kickback.
Well, I mean, anything Chinese is not Chinese company. You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
It may
it's
say
American
Chinese company, but it's Chinese government.
Yeah. Well, just like, Whitmer inviting the Chinese actual CCP over here to oversee the building of the battery factory, and they were going to run it also.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck are you thinking? Thank God the town's fighting it. I haven't looked that up in a minute. I got to look up get some updates on it. Well, I know what she was thinking. She's probably getting a huge kickback from our $700 million.
Trump will never go to Canada. Sorry.
I hope not. I think Trump and Candace Owen would make a good team because she would straighten him up and get him to quit saying stupid things.
I don't think anybody's going to ever straighten him up.
No, he's too much of a narcissist.
No, I was thinking of a good team would be Tucker Carlson, Trump, and Elon Musk.
Dude, some of the shit that Elon Musk says, I watched a video with him the other day. He was like, a person will, he's like, there's been a lot of corpse in the ocean. You know what I mean? A lot of dead bodies floating in the ocean over the years, but people still swim in the ocean. He's like, but if you put a dead corpse in a fucking pool, nobody will swim in it. He's like, there's a dead body ratio of pool to ocean corpses, or what the human body will actually swim in the water with a corpse ratio or something. I was like, this motherfucker's high as hell talking about this shit, because he was on Joe Rogan talking about it. And they're sitting there just fucking puffing away.
He took one puff. And you know what happened to him after that? He had a big federal investigation because of the people backing his companies and shit. Said, dude, we need a blood test, pal. Because we're not going to finance you if you are on drugs. Yeah, he got all kinds of shit.
That dude is probably the smartest man on this planet. You know that?
He's a thinker. I do enough thinking to me where I'm up all night. I couldn't handle having his brain.
And then he said something about a hot dog, right? A hot dog, it's in an intestine casing or whatever. He's like, so it's an animal inside of other animal parts. So when we eat a hot dog, when we ingest a hot dog, we're not just ingesting the hot dog, we become the hot dog because we're putting those meats in our intestines, and we're the hot dog. What the fuck am I watching, man?
That's hilarious.
Hey, read what Helping Hound wrote.
Too few people have access to long-range radio. Yikes. At this point, if we are abruptly lose social media, which they are predicting internet going in the shitter.
Yeah.
So figure out a different way to do your banking. Communication and coordination would be near impossible. I know. I do all my banking online. If that shit shuts down, my cable goes out, I panic when bills are due.
I don't fucking panic when bills are due. I just say fuck them. Because
you got a wife to take care of it.
With the new law that went into effect, if you have shitty credit, you don't have to pay as much on your fucking mortgage, man.
Absolutely.
I busted my ass for 10 years working on my credit score to get a good credit score. I got a high fucking credit score. Now I find out that I got to pay more in fucking fee taxes because my credit score is better than some dude that doesn't fucking.
Well, what the deal is, the socialism aspect of it, you're helping somebody lower than you get a place.
Right. Yes.
You're paying the difference.
That's why I'm just going to default on all my shit and get shitty credit and let somebody else pay for me.
That's the new thing. If you just let go of the pride, brother. Just let go of the pride.
It just kills me, and it's the same thing with this fucking,
Hey, Gear Grinding, what's up? He says, thank you, Ohio, for having good credit.
You're welcome, Gear. Now go get a new house, you fucker. I'll pay the extra $300 a month for you to.
But you better send me vegetables.
Right, send me some vegetables. Yeah, but like student loan forgiveness, man. Like, why the fuck do I got to pay for your loan? I didn't take that shit out.
Well, that was a broken promise. It never happened.
Yeah, that was to get all these dumb fuckers. That's to get all these dumb college kids that think they're educated just because they got a piece of paper from the college, think they're smarter than everybody else.
Yeah.
To vote for them.
And they're still, still hoping for it and still voting that way.
I say it's fucking Dish's fault to begin with, but that's just me.
Don't you ever blame Dish for that shit.
Oh,
what are we blaming?
Did you hear how she just said shit, Dish?
Yeah.
Shit.
Because she's awesome.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
We are not going to have that kind of a night tonight. You are going to behave, and I need you to apologize to Dish because that behavior will not be tolerated.
That's fine. As long as you keep calling me sir or master, either way, it's fine by me. So, Dish, if I upset you in any way, baby girl, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I got called sir.
Right.
Thank you, Mikey.
Like being called sir?
By her? What are you kidding me? She call me anything she wants to.
Hey, you know what she calls me?
Stop it.
Don't make me get out the cowboy hat.
Yeah, how the hell are you, kid? Good to see you.
I need y'all to behave.
What's even better is, you know what Tardot calls me?
Stop it.
Bitch.
It's only because you gave him a wiener.
I'm sorry, you broke up. All I heard is a big wiener.
I said it's only because he gave him a wiener.
Yep. I love it when he calls me Big Papa.
Yeah, hey, help us out. Here's something funny, right? Want to hear something funny?
Please.
If you have a CDL license, or you drive a truck with a medical card, either way, okay, you drive a commercial vehicle, and you have a medical card, or you have a Class B or a Class A license, and you are on your phone, okay, it's a $2,400 ticket.
Oh, shit.
Okay. So the cop pulls me over, and he says, "You're on your phone." No, I got a phone in my hand. Did you see me with the phone in my hand? He said, "You drove by me, and you were talking to somebody on the phone very loudly." I go, "Yep, I was." I go, "But what was I holding the phone in my hand?" I says, "I wasn't. I'm going to tell you right now." I said, "So, but here's what I'm going to do for you, because I'm nice." I says, "And I don't want to argue with you today. As I'm going to show you my phone. The last call that happened was my wife, and I just hung up with her." I goes, "The phone call lasted 11 minutes. Why 11 minutes? Because I called her before I got into the truck for my last stop. I had her on speakerphone. So I wasn't my hand. I had hands free. So, you can go do what you want from there." So we get into talking, and I said to him, I go, "I got another stupid question for you." He goes, "What?" I go, "Did you ever see a truck driver use a CB?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, how come I can't talk into my phone, but they can talk into a fucking CB?"
Good point.
He didn't have a fucking answer for me.
Dude, it's just crazy. We got a new law in Ohio that if your phone is in a carrier, or like a holder or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's one touch, you're allowed to use it. Like if it's one touch, like if you call me and I hit the answer button,
right.
But if I have to swipe and put in a password and then swipe and look at the contacts to find you, you're not allowed to do that. If I am holding the phone like this, I'm legal. If I'm driving, I'm legal. No problem. But if I hold the phone out like this and I'm driving, I'm like, yeah, Mikey, I blah blah blah, and I'm holding like this, illegal. Fucking, it doesn't make sense.
How does that make sense?
In Massachusetts, you illegal because it has to be hands free.
Because what they do is they think that you're texting, is what it is.
So here's the other problem. There's no difference to me having my phone in a holder going swipe or whatever than me looking down, changing the channel on my radio. How many people get tickets for changing the dial on their radio?
Yeah, my stepson down south, or the kid I was acting father to down south, debut ride on a car I built for him, redid the engine on a nice Monte Carlo, totaled it into a cement pole, adjusting his equalizer while he was driving. Maiden voyage. Boom!
Damn.
And I've caught myself doing it.
Hey, I get in my car when I'm driving down the road. I push a little button on the steering wheel, and it goes bleep, and I say, "Call Stalker Steve," and it's calling Stalker Steve.
My Volvo does that too.
Could you, in case there's a horrific accident and they go through your phone, can you please take the stalker part off?
No, because you're not.
I don't want to go to prison. Oh, let's investigate this guy. Our Boyd, that sucks to be in that position. Been there, done that, brother.
Yes.
The MI Woodsman, Stevie.
Johnny, the MI freaking Woodsman.
How's it going?
How are you, my friend? Great to see you.
Cool, man. Thank you. That's going to be my traveling limo when I move up north, so maybe I'll come see you. Get to shake your hand again.
Fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
So, folks, Pork, I don't know if that's true or not. I'll test it out next week.
Well, you got one hand on the wheel. Cool, man. When I get up there more permanent, we'll have to make it like a river rendezvous or something. That'd be awesome.
Are you trying to get me to hate your guts?
No, I'm trying to get you to get off your ass and drive up here or down around up here.
It's not as fucking easy as you say it is.
Jesus Christ!
It's totally easy.
I just bought you a camper, for fuck's sakes.
Listen, it's totally easy. Here's what you do, Mikey. You go grab your keys. You walk out the door. You get in your car and you crank it. And then, depending on if there's a car in front of you or not, you got to put it in reverse or drive. But Once that motherfucker's in drive, you just drive until you get to your destination.
I drive a 2007 fucking Saturn that's falling the fuck apart and ain't gonna make it to fucking Michigan.
Did anybody else get the tingles when she said crank it?
Crank it, yeah. Oh, can you get to Ohio, Mikey?
I don't know. Look,
If you get to Ohio, I'll take over from there.
You should be able to get to Ohio. You can basically put it in neutral and coast all the way down.
And you think my wife's gonna let me take her fucking what do you call it? You're out of your mind.
Don't worry, buddy. I'll call the wife and set it up for you.
Listen.
Take an Amtrak. Take an Amtrak from Boston to fucking Cleveland.
Yeah.
I'll pick up at Cleveland, and then we'll head out to Michigan. How much is an Amtrak from Boston to Cleveland? Let's see.
I mean, the only other option is to majorly clean and detail the house, and your wife will be in such a good mood that she'll be like, you can totally have the keys.
Here's a problem with the train or a bus.
Trains used to have a smoking car. I don't know if they still do or not.
From Boston to Cleveland on an Amtrak is $45 fucking dollars, dude.
It's not the money. Oh, you're not paying attention. Look at the screen, Ohio.
He can't smoke on the train.
Oh my God, suck it up, Buttercup. Jesus.
You want me to sit on a fucking train for 10 hours and not smoke?
Hey, 10 hours. How long is it?
It's a 10-hour drive.
How long is it?
Yeah, but you've also got stoplights and ramps and highways and
Yeah, but you also got to stop and let
bullshit.
people on and off too. It's not a straight shot to Ohio.
Fuck those other motherfuckers. Once they get to your stop, it's a straight shot. Fuck those other passengers.
So basically, what's Mike is telling me, I should just go ahead and pick up Dish on my way up north and let her live in the camper.
Yep.
Mikey, I'm with you now a little bit, bud, because it says
Hey, I'm for that option.
usually takes about 15 hours.
Yikes.
That's a long haul. It's not bad. Back when I used to ride the train up here to go deer hunting and shit or vacation, it was right around 18 hours from New Orleans. But they had a smoking car, a bar car. You could go in there and smoke.
Yeah, well,
How-
actually, they don't have one now.
Hold up, we need to circle back to why in the fuck Mikey gets the camper and dishes in the goddamn shed.
She's not. She's with me.
You haven't
Fucking
seen that
camper.
shed yet, hon.
First of all, you're not getting the point. The point
Hey,
is that
MCK, welcome back.
Mikey and Dish get the camper. Now you feeling me?
So Ohio gets there first.
Excuse me. After how you were trying to blame her for stuff, you ain't getting any. I'm getting in the camper with Dish. We're kicking you out to the shed.
Well, that's fine. I'll bring the camera.
The
Now,
other
listen,
shed.
right, MCK? The MI freaking woodsman.
And Dish and I are just gonna sit there and, break a bunch of pink coffee cups. It's
There
gonna be
you
great.
go.
Right on, helping out. Just build a fucking Zeppelin and float over.
Oh,
No, I'd probably just fly. It's a lot easier. Buy a one-way ticket, and then when I go to leave, I'll buy another one-way ticket to go home.
Fuck, I'm out of coffee.
Oh.
no.
I know, and I don't want to make
Me
another
too.
pot.
Me too. I'm out too. But that's why I drink instant. I can't stand fucking run out of cart and then have to go make another whole pot. Fuck that. I should drink instant.
I don't want to do that yet.
Johnny, how you been? I hope things are well. Johnny's the only one I won't call a fucking palm knocker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The only one.
That's because Johnny knows people. He'll
No,
look you
that's
up.
because I know I don't know. He's like different than you people.
People. Because if you mess with the MI woodsman, Mikey, you'll be swimming with the fishes.
Well, yeah, because Mikey will see to it that you're swimming with the fishes.
That would be a terrible death, man. Someone strap a couple fucking cinder blocks to your feet and tie your hands and feet behind your back or whatever and just drop you off a boat.
Nah,
Yeah.
you pass out in a minute or two.
Yeah, you know, it's no. I was told that drowning is very pleasant
Or
stuff.
two is going to be agonizing, waiting to pass out.
Yeah, no shit.
That's like you probably die before you hit the ground if you fell off a building or something.
Heart attack.
Yeah,
I will, boys. I'll go. I have to. I have to go to Michigan, even if I don't get to see anybody else. But Dish. But my first stop is to go see my Then I'll see everybody else.
You know, talking about off a building or whatever. September 11th, every fucking year, man, when they show the one video,
Ugh.
it gets me so fucking pissed off. That one lady that, she's hanging on to the outside and the smoke's bellowing through and everything. And it's got to the point where she decides she's going to jump because there's the best option for her at this point. That lady had the decency in her
To hold the
mind
dress.
to hold her fucking dress when she
Makes me
jumped.
cry every time I see it.
Kills me, dude.
Makes
Kills
me cry every time I see it. To her, she jumps to her death, and she still wanted to be a lady doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, killed me. And then the other one's the guy that is like kind of shuffling down the building, and you're like, oh my God, he's going to make it to the next window or whatever. And then all of a sudden he loses it, slides down, and
How about the guy on the roof? Trying to get to the helicopters. Have the helicopter. The helicopter couldn't land.
How about all of them?
Yeah, it's just amazing.
Not all of them. Yeah,
it's just amazing. That was our version of our grandparents' version of fucking Pearl Harbor. It really was, if you think about it. Except I think they lost more people on Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something like 12,000 or something like that at Pearl Harbor. I just
a lot of people on Pearl Harbor.
Just watched a show the other night. It was awesome. A documentary about fighting with Japan and stuff, and it was all naval ships maneuvering. Holy fuck! But they mentioned Pearl Harbor.
Yep. Right on, Boyd. It was. Our grandparents lived through Pearl Harbor. We lived through 9/11. Go figure.
What was the since we're all a little bit different in age here, a little bit, what was the first major news disaster type thing that you remember as a child that stuck with you?
I still remember the day John F. Kennedy got shot on fucking TV.
Yeah. See, I wasn't born, so.
I remember my mom screaming. I remember the screen just going, "You black," and then coming back on later with all the news shit.
I always said that to me, I think it was probably like the space shuttle blowing up, the first one that blew up.
Oh, I was 18 when that thing blew up.
Yeah, well, I was in grade school. So
that was 1986, January 19th, January what?
Like that, but I know
almost one.
We had a snow day, so we didn't have school that day. So everyone was sitting around watching it on TV when it happened, But then I started thinking back, not a disaster, but it was a major news story. Elvis Presley dying, man. That really affected like a lot. Like I just
Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are young.
Which I still think was a planned deal with Princess.
Oh, absolutely. Chuck, that fucking douchebag that got coronated today killed her.
Oh, and then the big computer chaos crap of Y2K.
Oh my God! I worked for America Online for that shit. I had to work that night, all fucking night, because they thought it was going to come to an end because they weren't smart enough to.
So, as a teenager,
instead of 2 digits, huh?
As a young teenager, I would say Ronald Reagan being shot.
Yeah, I remember Ronald Reagan being shot, John Lennon being shot.
Yeah.
I remember we were watching Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Howard Cosell announced that John Lennon was shot.
What year was that?
So 1980 or 82?
Hey,
I wouldn't
Boyd.
have fucking thought back then.
Hey, Boyd. I went down there. I went down to New York with my two of my brothers. There was only I have one brother missing. He was in Guam, and so two of my brothers and my dad. We went down to New York City, and we went down to Ground Zero. This was probably like a year and a half after it happened, and they still had the chain link fences up and all that. Anyway, we get into talking to this guy, and he pointed because we were on the same side, and he pointed and he said, that used to be my firehouse over there. He was away with his family, and every person they lost every person in that firehouse.
Oh yeah.
And,
SKSU hijacked airplanes. Holy fuck!
You know what? Back in the 70s, there was a lot of hijacked airplanes, but then there was one in the early 80s The TWA one. I remember that one when they had like the Navy guys and the Marine or whatever, and they shot him. They were had the door open of the plane. They were like slowly taxiing down the runway or whatever, and they shot him and threw him out. Do you remember that?
Redneck Prepper, what's up?
What's up, Redneck?
Yeah, no, the whole Olympics thing with the terrorists and stuff.
Oh, the bombing at the yeah.
Well, the '96 Olympics was the bombing in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
But then
no,
they
one
made a
in
movie.
the foreign country where they had the hostages and shit.
They made a movie out of that, right? Oh, Iran was the Iran hostages in '81 was pretty. I was 14 years old.
Helping Hound said, in my 30s, remember his first bombing. Yeah, the '93 World Trade Center bombing.
Yep.
And then Columbine was '98.
Yep.
And Waco was '93 or nine? No,
5.
Waco was. When was Waco?
5, because Clinton was president, right?
I think it was '93 because then the Timothy McVeigh blew up the Oklahoma City building like a year or two later on its anniversary.
Mount St. Helens.
Don't forget about Ruby Ridge.
I remember Mount St. Helens. That we had
was in the early '80s.
Ash on our cars.
Shit happened.
Yeah, Dish, you were out there, right?
Yeah.
I remember the near tragedy the day Dish's mom said she couldn't come and meet me.
Well, hey,
the near tragedy.
She's a smart woman.
Overcame though.
Yep.
Oh, poor woman. Ma, this guy's stalking me. That's what I would have said to him.
Oh yeah, that's Cash Hugo, DC Sniper. I watched a.
Yeah, but you said teenage. That was my teenagers. I don't know.
I watched a good show on the Vice network. Even though Vice is a like liberal fucking cuck network, they had a good documentary on the DC Sniper.
Yeah, did they mention he was black?
Oh yeah.
That surprised a lot of people. What?
We had a highway sniper in Central Ohio. Sometime in the 2000s. I can't remember exactly when it was, but he killed several people shooting from like overpass.
Oh, yeah, him and his grandson, right?
No, this was just a guy by himself, but they actually found him out in Las Vegas. Let's see, Central Ohio highway sniper. Yeah, let's see. 24 sniper attacks along Interstate 270.
That's cool.
The alphabet that goes around Columbus. Let's see. Most traffic.
Right on, Boyd. Waco started waking me up too.
The shooting
wasn't right. That and Ruby Ridge.
The shootings began in May of 2003. 62-year-old Gail Kinsley was killed on November 25th, 2003. Charles McCoy Jr. was the shooter. He was 47 years old.
Flan!
He got 27 years from prison.
Flan.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember they got him. They arrested him in Las Vegas or something, and then like had to, or they extradite him back to Ohio.
I think the best thing I ever saw on TV was when I don't know, for some fucking reason, my sister. I was in the living room with my sister. She was watching Oprah or whatever, and this guy's kid got kidnapped and this, that, and the other thing. And like, I don't know if the kid died or not, but anyway, the father, for some way, found out when the marshals were bringing him in.
Oh,
and the marshals got him handcuffed, and the father's on the payphone at the fucking airport pretending he's making a call. And as soon as the marshals walked out of this fucking door with the fucking guy, the father went just like this. Boo! Fucking
shot him
blew
right
that
in the head.
away. I was like, that's fucking justice right
That
there.
was epic. The phone call guy.
You know? That was fucking justice.
It was karate. It was the kid's karate instructor that kidnapped him, took him out of state, and molested him and stuff. But I don't think that guy went to prison for that. They didn't charge him for that.
He never spent 1 day in jail. Not one. Nor should he have.
He's lucky he didn't do it nowadays.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he would be in prison for the rest of his life for that shit now.
But I want to say that was in the 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Oprah wasn't on in the 80s.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. If it was going to be the late 80s, early 90s. I'll look it up. Dad kills karate instructor for molesting his kid. November 10th, 1945, October. Oh, he died in 2014. Gary.
The father?
Yeah.
That's too bad.
The killing occurred Friday, March 16th, 1984.
Was it that late? Oh, wow.
Wow.
And it was captured by a local news crew.
Yeah.
How time flies.
It was Gary Plack, Baton Rouge man who killed son's accuser.
Good. I think it's great.
Personally, I think they should line them up and let all the fathers and family at them for crimes like that.
Oh, wow.
Highway 70 killer. I don't even.
Oh,
that might have been my anti-news time in life.
Truck driver, I think he was, that killed prostitutes.
Dish, remember the Oakland County killer guy? Whom they've never caught, by the way.
Oh, never caught him, huh?
Nope.
Could he be on this chat right now?
No, he's probably fucking dead.
He'd be about 128.
Like I said, could he be on this chat right now?
Yeah, that was weird, man. Because hitchhiking used to be huge.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty much over after that.
No, I hitchhiked, for Christ's sake. I hitchhiked everywhere.
Wow, they never caught the I-70 guy either.
I even hitchhiked. I hitchhiked. I was living with my dad at the time in the 90s, and I said to him, I says, I want to go to camp, and he goes, Mikey, I'm not going to camp. Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, whatever. I said, but I am, and I put some shit in the bag. He goes, where you going? I'm going. Told you, I'm going to camp. And my dad lives like a mile off of is it a U.S. route? I think it's U.S. Route 3. Anyway, it was like a mile off a major highway. You guys, I call it a highway. You guys call it interstate. Same thing, right? And I stuck my thumb. I was in my 20s. So this is 90 something. And anyway, I stuck my thumb out and fucking truck picked me up.
Good night, Boyd. Thank you for coming in, brother.
Good night, Boyd. They're like, where you headed? He goes, where you headed? I goes, New Hampshire. He goes, that's a big state. Where in New Hampshire you headed? So I told him. And he goes, well, you're locked out. He says, I got to go to 106. He says, I'll drop you off at 106. I says, that'd be great. Thanks. He drops me off at 106. I says, thanks, bro. He says, no problem. I got out of the truck. I'm on the fucking road for about 15 fucking minutes. Stick my fucking thumb out. Bang. Where you headed? I told him. I'm headed to Gilmanton. He says, oh, today's your lucky day. Get in. I'm going to Alton. Fucking drove me right to where I needed to go. Went to my aunt's house, called my old man. He goes, all right, where are you? I'll come get you. So I'm at camp. Just thought I'd let you know. Click. He's like, no fucking way.
How'd that go over when you got home?
Oh, he was fine. My old man was cool about it. My mom was different. My mom was.
Well, that was pretty cool. You made it to camp with 2 rides and only had to give 2 blowjobs all the way up there.
I used to pick up guys because I hated you know, because I walked, I never carved, and you know what I mean. And people always gave me a ride. So, like even my mom one day, it was fucking pouring out. And this guy's thumb, and she's like, "Mikey, I can't do it." I said, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." I said, "We'll go home. If he's still here," I said, "We'll go home. I'll drop you off, and if he's still there, I'll give him a ride." So we did. You know, I went home. We went home, and I took her home, dropped her off at her house, get back in her car, went back to see the guy. The guy's still thumbing. I picked him up, gave him a ride.
Yeah, you
I
can't do
just,
that now. Though.
I
mean, you
just
can't
feel
thumb
bad for people. I just
much
feel bad
shit.
for people that are thumbing. You know.
Well, you know what? All in all, that goes to show you shit's been going on a long time. It ain't all recent. It's just now it's televised all over.
I hear about it more often.
I picked a girl.
Big thing was you get a girl standing on the side of the road hitchhiking, and then when you pull over to get her, you know, or car's broke down, she's got her hood up, and you pull over to help her. While you're looking under the hood, her boyfriend steps out of the fucking tree line that was hiding behind the bush, fucking robs her ass.
Well, I picked up a girl here, right about 5 miles from where I live now, on the highway, and I was living in my hometown, and I pull out, there's no way this broad's fucking thumbing. I fucking pull in, and I'm like, "Why are you thumbing?" And she goes, "Because my boyfriend's a loser." I goes, "Okay, but you shouldn't be thumbing." She goes, "Oh, okay, Dad." I goes, "Get in. Where you going?" And she goes, "You know what Belmont, New Hampshire is?" I'm like, "Holy fuck, really?" She goes, "Yeah, why?" I said, "I'm going to Gilmanton." Gave her a ride right to her doorstep. About an hour later, I'm at campfire having a beer and everything. Cruiser pulls in. They asked for me. The father wanted to shake my hand and say, "Thanks for getting the daughter home fucking safely," without fucking being a douchebag about it. I'm like, "Well, what am I going to do?" I mean, and then I got yelled at by the fucking town cop that brought him there to say thank you to me. He goes, "That was probably one of the stupidest fucking things you ever did."
I wouldn't pick up a hitchhiker today, especially a female, without having them sign a waiver.
Right. Well, that's why he called me an idiot.
Well, see, I don't mind hitchhiking because what's the likelihood that we're both psychopaths?
Exactly. How do you know I'm not a fucking serial killer? Because there's no way two serial killers ever be caught together in the same car.
Hey, real quick, I want to go back out to the chat to MTK. Talked about the I-70 killer. You said he never caught him, but is that the one that was dumping like the prostitutes all over I-70 from like all the way from like Pennsylvania to like Vegas and shit? Just like
he said something about prostitutes.
Really, SKS? That sucks.
Damn.
SKS writes, New Year's Eve, 1976, a power station by his house had a bomb threat phoned in. They were evacuated in time. He made it to the end of the fucking block when it went off. Shattered every window in the house.
Damn.
Holy crap.
What are the odds of that happening? You'd live the rest of your life and, you know.
And by the way, speaking of 1976, you know what I found the other day? Hopefully I didn't fall out of my wallet and lose it.
That's like that movie, The World According to Garp.
When he was getting a blowjob?
When him and his wife are looking at houses and the plane crashes into it.
Oh,
was that one or the other Robin Williams movie? He said, "We'll take it." What are the odds of that ever happening again?
I thought you meant when he was getting a blowjob and they rear-ended into the driveway and fucking cut the guy's dick off.
Yeah, that kind of put the hurting on Roadhead.
Oh, don't tell me I lost it. I did. You stupid fuck.
Okay. All right, MCK, no problem. You know, in the early, let's see, no, it was late.
Oh, no, there it is.
It was the late 90s. We lived like in an apartment building. It used to be an old school, like an elementary school that somebody, they turned it into an apartment. And they still had the gym inside of it and everything. And then out back, there was a playground and a big, like a soccer field. But there was no soccer. What you got there, Mikey?
Bicentennial quarter.
Oh, there was no soccer goals or anything like that. It was just a field. And I would go out there and hit golf balls, chip golf balls around. And I had like a small bucket of golf balls. I would hit them all, and then I'd go around and pick them all up. And I hit some over by the tree line. And when I was picking them up by the tree line, I thought it was a mannequin at first. And I seen it, and I was like, oh, man, someone dumped a fucking mannequin in like the woods here. And then I started looking at it closer, and I was like, nope, that's a fucking body. I found there was a dead girl. And
so that movie Stand By Me is about you?
No.
He was the kid running down the tracks.
Yeah. Yeah, the fat kid that couldn't make it across the track when the trestle when the train was coming. I did find the body, and I called 911, and they sent a bunch of people out, and there was an investigation, and they caught the guy who did it. He killed 3 prostitutes in Columbus. And what it is when they had the schoolhouse on the south end of Columbus with that field, and then there was a tree line, and on the other side of that tree line was a auto parts like salvage yard, and he drove his truck back there and dumped the body. But what gave him away is one of the prostitutes was friends with her or whatever. He like choked him out. He killed 3 girls, I think 2 or 3, choked them out. He's in prison right now in Ohio. But what gave him girl, one of the prostitutes, because they all was working the same corners together and stuff. When the truck pulled up, she got in it and took off. She remembered it was like a blue truck with like a white stripe, and that's all she could remember. Well, they found the blue truck and white stripe, but what gave him away was the tire prints, because it's like, kind of like it's not mud, but kind of like a clay area where he drove through back there. He had 3 different types of tires on that truck, and they matched those 3 different tires up to the tire treads. And then he actually, when they brought that evidence, and then there was physical evidence of his fingerprints or handprints around her neck or whatever, it matched or something. And he ended up, I think he pled guilty on those. I'm not sure.
Helping Hound was talking about the fertilizer explosion years ago in Beirut or wherever, if that's really what it was. I told him that the whole thing was kind of iffy, but if you look up, I believe it's Texas City, Texas, that's when they discovered that fertilizer shit was explosive, because it blew up on a ship, accidentally got some diesel fuel on it and ignited. Damn near wiped out the whole town.
You wouldn't believe what fertilizer can do.
Huge. Well, that was the first fertilizer explosion, when they discovered that, hey, we have a cheap explosive here. But it was as big as the Beirut one, if not bigger.
It's amazing what fucking a chemical reaction will do.
Yeah. Little oxygenator, it's all you need. But that's a pretty interesting story. It's on the internet, on YouTube and stuff.
I remember when I was a kid, we'd be up north, and they had a volunteer fire department. And when they did training, you know what they would do? If somebody had passed or whatever, or the town was taking over a property that might have had an old cabin on it or something, they'd set it ablaze. And the fire department would put it out, the volunteer fire department, you know what I mean? Well, we were down there because my uncle used to be a volunteer fire department in town. And he said, they were teaching us this and that about the fire and everything. And he said, do you know why it's important when firefighters they have to wait to make sure there's nobody around, no firefighters in the building if they're cutting the hole in the roof? He said, why? And he did one of these, and all he did was open the fucking door. Dude.
I've done that shit on a fucking wood stove.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just like instant fucking dragon, coming out the door.
Yeah, you add oxygen to a superheated environment. Look out. I've done it on a wood stove, had it all shut down, for the night, and went to throw one more log and forgot it was shut down. I didn't open it up before I opened the front door, and it burnt flames all over your face.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing how they would do it.
Christian Fur. His name is Christian Fur.
Wow, MCK, that's bad. When a house is that saturated.
So he got sentenced to the death penalty in 2000. It was two prostitutes. He strangled and raped them.
Wow.
See, yeah.
So how come he didn't get strangled or raped? Because that would have been cool.
Yeah, right here. It was found in a field off of Groveport Road, not far from where Sauer's body was discovered 11 days later.
Your YouTube channel didn't even get a mention?
Huh?
Huh?
No, this.
Yeah, I can't wait to dig into that camper. It's one of the things I don't want to do it, but I really want to do it.
I can't wait to make that thing rock. The vans, if the campers are rocking, don't come a knocking.
Right.
That's just me trying to get out of that little fucking bed in the back.
Whoa. Who said that? Whoa. See, you have this fucking thing in your head that you're saying in the camper. That's not gonna happen.
Dude, I'll get
me and Dish. What the fuck part of that don't you understand?
Sleep 3 times before you get there the first time.
Let me explain something to you. Okay, you have a better shot of sharing a bed with Jesus Christ himself than you being able to sleep in the camper with Dish.
I didn't say with Dish. I'm just saying I'd get up there first. I'd make it there way before you.
How are you gonna make it up there first? She lives in the same fucking state, you fucking nitwit.
No, I beat you.
Well, yeah, of course you can beat me.
Yeah, I can go up tomorrow if I want.
But she'll be there already.
I can go tomorrow, but I got tickets to a fucking football game that I'm going to go to.
But she'll be there already. So as soon as she's in the camper, you lose. She's just waiting on me. Do you understand how that goes?
Okay, we're going to have to get Dish a new T-shirt, and it just says bait.
Bait, yeah.
No, it should just say Mikey's right across the chest.
Just pull my hat down and I'll talk, and I'll say something about my khakis and knock on the door and I'm like, "What's up, kid?" And I walk in.
What's up, kid?
Talk. Dish, I'll be over in 2.5 hours.
Gotcha.
Done.
Hold up. Excuse me, sir. You've got Dish trapped in a shed 2.5 hours away. There are dangerous animals out there, mister.
Called covering your tracks, hun.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be tactical.
Blink.
You tell everybody how,
Blink twice if you're being mistreated.
Right.
I'll fucking drive the 4 hours and I will relocate you to a place that's less confining.
Right.
Hey, MCK,
how far,
MCK.
Can you Google how far we are from Indianapolis, Indiana?
Let's Google.
I'm only 2 hours from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Woo-hoo. God, I would love to see the Indy 500 one day, but I don't know if I can handle it.
They ran today, I think. I think that ran today, right before the Derby.
They on the Indy on Memorial Day.
Well, I saw an Indy race right before this afternoon. Is all I'm saying.
Although a gentle reminder to the gentlemen in the room and ladies, Mother's Day is coming.
Yeah, fuck Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Here's the problem I had, right? Kentucky Derby.
15 Persons Day now.
Kentucky Derby.
If I
got
ever hear you say that
reincarnated,
again, I'm gonna punch you in your face, Ohio.
and I'm reincarnated, and I'm like rooting in the horse, and rooting it in, and rooting it in, and rooting it in. Guess what? The horse wins.
Yeah. Hey,
Guess what else? Guess what else? Hang on. Guess what else? It wasn't my horse. I thought it was my horse, but it wasn't. I was pissed.
What did I call the Kentucky Derby in our text today?
An Amish NASCAR.
Yeah, Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, that's fucking funny.
That's awesome.
MCK said he's 50 minutes west of it. They might be coming up there this summer. Oh, Dish is 3 hours away.
Holy shit, SKS. 1978. He was on the news for a few weeks. Missing child. He ran away from his foster parents. I'm sure there was good reason. He was 11. Damn.
Holy cow.
Damn.
SKS, I didn't know you were almost as old as me.
Yeah. You had us worried to death, damn it.
Right.
Actually, SKS, you and I are the same age, brother.
Flan.
Flan's got to take a dump, guys.
Right?
We're going to have to buy her a pack of Depends so she can hang with the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Newcastle, Indiana. That's where it is.
Yeah, she needs some Depends.
So, Dish, you're pretty far away, 255 miles.
Yeah.
True that, Peanut cars.
All I'm gonna say is if you're gonna drive in Indiana, make sure you got good struts and shocks because one trip there you're gonna get them fucked up and need them changed.
Huh.
I went out for Roll Call's wedding and I had to get my shocks replaced when I went to Missouri because that fucking trip fucked up my shocks.
Yeah, well, if you're out at the bonfire going woohoo out the window, hold my beer and going over jumps, what do you expect?
No, that was just from the highway around Indianapolis. It's terrible.
Damn.
Yeah, the outer belt around Indianapolis, it is bad, dude. It's like driving. You know when I don't know what road it is, Steve, but when you're coming north from Toledo on 75, and you see the bridge to Windsor, and then you take that and you veer off to the left and you go towards like Grosse Pointe and all that shit, that area, that fucking road, you know how rough that is? That's like the entire road around fucking.
Wow.
It's the highway in Jackson, Michigan.
Yep. All of Michigan. They fix them every year. They repave them by the, cheapest guy they can find in the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Another look what I'm doing for the highways. It's like, yeah, you're ordering the idiots who don't even know how to pour concrete. In 2 years, you're shot again. The 465, MCK says. Well, I'm glad Indiana's got shitty roads too, because half the trucks up here got Indiana plates on them. So, haha.
Oh, we get shitty roads up this way too. I mean, it's fucking jawbreakers. Some of them are fucking jawbreakers. You know what I mean?
I've actually cussed. It scared me so bad when I hit, a pothole you don't see coming. Like, boom.
Right.
You know what I hate is when you're taking I'm taking every day when I go to work, my second job after my full-time job, I take a right to get onto the highway on this road, and from the corner to about 30 feet to the ramp, it's all potholes. And my car does this.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm doing like 35, 30 around the corner. But still, it's just
fishtailing and shit.
Yeah.
We get that on our dirt roads here. We call them washboards. You go to stop at a stop sign, you'll zip right through it because you're bouncing. It's like, holy crap. But the faster you go over them, the smoother it feels. Of course, your car's falling apart. That's beside the point.
Right.
But it feels better.
And of course, my control, what they call it, doesn't work, right? So if I goose my car, right, it automatically goes into the steering. Well, it's front wheel drive, so it automatically just starts pulling because I don't have my control. What do you call it? Light is fucking control tach something, whatever. So it's terrible in the winter to drive.
Party time back in
Yeah,
the day.
they almost had the Indy race in Boston, and Boston said no. I'm like, you fucking idiots! That would have been a lot of fun.
I used to follow it religiously back when they had CART. What was the whole big thing? But when they forced the guys to, you can only run Indy cars at Indy, that kind of put a damper on it to me, you know. And they tried to use the thing of, you know, it's too high tech and normal people can't afford it. Dude, them carbureted cars are just as high tech as all the other ones. And still, you know, average Joe can't get in the race. True that, P NASCARs. Seeing a race live, I remember the first
unbelievable
car race I ever seen live was a Grand Prix they had in New Orleans, all around the city. And it was in big, wide cars, but they sit in the middle, the European-style Grand Prix cars. Not the open wheels, closed wheel. Holy shit. You could just feel it in your chest and hearing the brakes squalling and the transmissions shifting. It's like, golly. I had to turn my back for a minute because I was getting so jammed up I was going to barf.
You should go
Listen.
Hey.
I've seen Final Destination. I know how that ends. I'm not going to a NASCAR race. I am not driving behind a truck hauling logs either. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but now go to a motorcycle race. Those are the fucking absolute fucking. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, right on. Penske is like out of control, huge.
I'm dangerous on four wheels. Don't fucking give me two.
I went to a NASCAR race up in Michigan, at Brooklyn, Michigan.
Yeah. See, I'm all talk. I haven't even been there yet, and I haven't been to Michigan Speed, the drag racing in Michigan.
I can't remember who
Never
was
been. Durr.
Pepsi.
Went to the Detroit Grand Prix though. That was awesome.
Come to New Hampshire. Go to Loudon.
You want me to bring the camper?
It's a NASCAR. It's a NASCAR track.
We just got a new sports car track down in Pontiac, of all places. They took a bunch of abandoned buildings and tore them down, built a racetrack. I need to go down there.
Yeah, right on. Helping Hound. Dale Senior died on TV.
Right.
Yeah.
I just watched a
film
documentary about him the other night. Matter of fact, his son has a YouTube channel, Junior.
Oh, yeah?
Very cool. He sits there. I think it's a younger brother. They kind of look alike, but they have a podcast and they get all these old guys in there, old mechanics and stuff from back in the day, and just talking about back in the day. What an interesting podcast. I was up to like 5 o'clock in the morning, like last week, watching it. And of course, I got on the whole Dale Earnhardt documentary, and I love listening to them old guys talk. Yeah, back in the day, and he told the screwdriver shank story and all that stuff. It was cool.
Right on, MCK.
They were talking about how they used to cheat, and A lot of them cars were running nitrous oxide in there. They would use their roll bars as tanks, pressurized roll bars, running nitrous. Wink, wink.
Holy shit.
I know. Cool, MCK.
Those are the days.
I have a cousin that's running dirt in stock cars, and then my sister's husband runs bracket drag car.
You want to see a dirt race? Go on
Gears channel.
Gears channel.
Right. He's got a couple good videos on there.
Yep.
And you can hear it and kind of feel it like you're riding in the back seat. It's cool. Oh, how cool would that be, P NASCARs? You got to go down to the real gasoline alley.
Yeah,
I got to go behind the wall at the Detroit Grand Prix, but I didn't actually get in the pits, but I was behind them all. See them wrenching on their stuff into trailers and all that. That was cool.
I like the Brickyard. Brickyard's a nice track.
My son just came in here and they just went and seen that Guardians of the Galaxy in 3D or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they wanted me to go tonight, see it, and I was like, I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or 2, so I don't want to go see 3. You know, I don't know. They were giving me a hard time about it. My wife's like, you never want to do anything I want to do. I'm like, I got tickets to a football game tomorrow, and you don't want to go. I got to take a friend. Actually, it's 2 football games. It's televised too, guys, on NBC. You might want to watch and see if I'm on TV.
Cool. You gonna be coming out of a shitter?
Maybe singing.
Singing?
Yeah, it's just USFL, but it's taking my youngest and one of his friends. So
Smoking a little crack, watching a little.
USFL. I like the USFL. I think it's fun to watch on TV because they have different camera angles than the NFL. They got like the quarterback cam, so you see what he sees. Dude, when you like, I know they're not NFL, but they're still a pro team. But when you watch the quarterback cam, and like he's over center, and then he like steps back drops back 3 steps, and then you see all these fucking 300-pound men coming at you, trying to kill you. And then, like, you see him reading the fucking, looking for an opening or looking for someone to pass to or something. It's kind of a cool camera angle to watch and see how, because they don't have hardly no time at all to make a decision. Do I throw to this guy, or this guy, or run it? You know what I mean?
No, they almost have to go on instinct.
Yeah.
P NASCAR's, your guess is as good as ours.
Yeah, we wish Bird Dog would show up. She's probably living a good life in Florida.
Right.
I haven't checked her channel in forever. She was posting once in a while, like race car videos or hunting videos or whatever, or shoot. God, that's been a long time.
She was a doll.
That's kind of funny. You tweeted Bird Dog. Get it? Bird Dog tweet.
Yep. Twitter twatted.
Well, next time you honker tweet her, tell her to stop by once in a blue moon.
I will do that.
We won't make her stay or nothing.
Right.
I remember I put on, I think the first time I had it, I put something to the effect of, we're tweeting on Twitter, does that make us twits?
Or twats. Right on, Helping Hound. That's my well's going to be a backup well, and for feeding critters or watering critters and stuff like that.
Aw, thank you, PNASCAR.
Right on, brother. Can't disagree.
Nope.
That's so nice.
And also, I've been researching on flooding your part of your land for duck ponds and stuff for duck hunting. I can't wait. I'll be planting some sorghum and some rice. I don't know if rice will grow up here, but sorghum will. And then right before duck season, you flood it.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah. So you don't have to, they prefer, mallards and other puddle ducks prefer it like that. So the grass grows up,
Yeah.
and then it floods and the green grass is underwater. That's what they look for.
Okay.
They don't like a big deep pond. Excuse me. They don't like a big deep pond. Oh, that sounds good. Smoked duck. Hell yeah. But I love duck hunting, and it's hard to find a decent spot that 4,000 other duck hunters don't know about.
Right.
Right.
I like duck hunting, but I don't like the competition. I can't.
Yeah,
tell you.
hunting's not supposed to be competitive. It's just supposed to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like to chill, and
Yeah.
you know, I
That's
can't
why I
tell
would.
you how many ducks and geese I've called in. They have some other dickhead I didn't know was there hiding in the bushes 20 yards in front of me, shoot it right in front of me. It's like, dude, where's your ethics?
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's like I would never. I don't get into tournaments. You know, like you know, like even if I had the money, I wouldn't go on. What do they call it? The FLHRA? What the hell? The fishing fucking thing where the guy cheated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know why I fish? Because it's fun and relaxes me. When I have to go do it to be, you know, no, that's not. For me, that's not what fishing's about. You know.
Stop it, NCK. We're not supposed to talk about food. You're making me hungry. Duck
No better
orange.
fun.
Have a great night, Flon. Thanks for popping in.
Good night,
Good
Flan.
night,
I
Fawn.
haven't had duck, and I can't tell you how long.
I made jerky out of the duck breast last time I had duck. It was really
Oh,
good.
did you?
Yeah, it was really good.
I made goose jerky. That was good.
Yummy.
Duck stuffed jalapenos is fucking phenomenal.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, it does.
Has anybody heard? Remember last year they had Old Bay goldfish, right?
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Well, guess what? My wife found at the store today. Old Bay hot sauce.
No way.
Swear to God, it's in my fridge right now. Old Bay hot sauce.
I'll have to look for that.
Like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, it is.
I don't believe I have ever had Old Bay.
Oh, it's pretty good on shrimps.
Yep.
Shrimps,
pork,
shrimp sandwich, popcorn shrimp, coconut
delicious.
shrimp.
It's delicious on shrimp. You grill shrimp on your barbie. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I've never tried. I'll have to pick up some. To me, the name sounds like Chesapeake Bay back in the 40s and 50s when it was all polluted.
No, this is
that's the taste, that kind of oily, kind of, you know, that
Sure, yeah.
grown.
This is a very it's pretty popular, Old Bay.
I gotta call my son. There's something that he had. See what I forget what it is. We put it on everything.
You want me to go get it? All right, Redneck. Hang on. Redneck wants me to go get it. I'll be right back.
Right on. They still won't let us hunt doves up here, MCK. Because they're a pretty songbird.
Dove breasts.
And we got a shit ton of them, too.
Yeah, we do. They're outside my house all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that sound.
I do, too.
Yeah, I go for some Franks.
All right, the stuff that the seasoning salt or whatever that we have that we put on everything now. My son had us buy it. It's called Danos. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's good on steak. It's good on chicken. It's good on pork. I mean, you put it on anything. Sprinkle on some mashed potatoes, whatever you want. Hey, man.
Are you serious, Cracker Jack and Cracker Jill? That's terrible.
Yeah, Cracker Jill now.
Really? Why don't they just come out with Cracker Head?
And leave the off of it. Just
yeah, you old crack ahead. Cracker Jill.
Dude, I don't know, man. This shooting, like, I have Twitter, but I hardly ever get on Twitter. But that's where all the shit is when you want to find stuff on these shootings and stuff. Always on Twitter. Like, I don't know, man. This one's, they're really, Shannon Watts, you know who that bitch is, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's like she's the leader of the
Moms Demand Action.
Moms Demand
Well, she
Action.
used to be. Last I heard, she was stepping down.
Yeah, well, she's tweeting the fuck out of all kinds. She's tweeting like crazy.
Well, she's special. She's special.
She's special.
A lot of special. Bless her heart.
Mm-hmm. It's a big old bless her heart.
Yes, there's a video people keep sharing of the dead bodies or something. They're pretty maimed up. I see. Okay, there it is. I wouldn't want the video of my family members laying there shot up. There's a little girl there too. She looks like she's like 3 years old, man. What the fuck is wrong with people? I'm getting so sick of this shit, dude. I mean, okay, I'm pro-gun just as much as anybody else in this fucking chat, you know? But when are we got to do something. We got to harden something up. We got to, you know.
Well, the biggest funded political party is behind most of mainstream media and has most of mainstream media lining the pockets of everything else. So, of course, we're not going to get what needs to be done because social media and mainstream media need to start getting their heads out of their asses and quit worrying about the fucking views and start taking accountability for the fact that they are making these criminals celebrities and creating copycats because of their own negligence and their ignorance upon a story.
Absolutely. That and letting them out of fucking jail.
So Redneck Prepper, I don't know which one you wanted to see, the seasoning or the, what do you call it? So I brought both. So that's the seasoning. and it says seafood, poultry, salads, and meat. And douche, look what I found. Look what my wife found at the store.
That's so cool.
Old Bay hot sauce.
So here's a tweet from Alan May USA 22 minutes ago. Florida Blue.
Hold that up again, Mike.
Militia. What?
Which one?
Both.
Oh, okay. Let me do them both at the same time. So I don't do it twice. Whoops. Doo-doo.
Red and yellow. That's what that song was about.
Red and yellow, black and white.
And they had last year, I haven't seen it since, but last year they had Old Bay goldfish. Oh my fucking God, it's to die for. My wife bought like 4 bags.
No, I was talking about the rap song, Red and Yellow, Red and Yellow.
Oh,
It's black and yellow.
That's black and yellow.
I don't do rap.
So piss on my parade.
Sorry.
Yeah, you are. Go ahead.
Oh,
redneck.
My bad.
It says, this is some tweet from a fucking radical libtard. It says a well-regulated militia killed 9 people in Allen, Texas today. City personnel.
What an asshole.
City personnel congratulate themselves on a quick response. Information on tomorrow's mass shooting is expected late tomorrow afternoon.
In Allen, Texas?
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Then he's got a gravestone, a picture of a tombstone that says, "Want your kid's name here? Keep voting for those fucking Republicans."
Wow.
That's how they are. I'm telling you, they're getting worse than fucking Trump haters.
We should put one up with a gravestone with a big red dot on it. Oh, wait, that's Japan. With a Chinese flag on it, with a slave collar on, being told to break the rocks. Keep voting Democrat.
I've said it 1,000 times, and I tell people, those people that think, guns to this, guns to that, and everything else, and, let the cops carry the guns, and you can have your guns to hunt, and, but I go, yeah, well, let me tell you something, and I would say to them, when you're being raped and it takes the fucking police department 6-7 minutes to get to your fucking house, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't want to hear about it because that's 6 or 7 minutes that
you're racist.
You wouldn't have had to deal with that fucking horror because you would have been able to pull a gun on him and said, "Not in my house. Goodbye." And the guy runs out. He runs out. You can shoot. You do whatever you want. But I'm just saying that
what they're too stupid to understand. If we give up our guns, it's going to get worse because there will be no incentive for a bad guy not to do it.
It's
just like a gun-free zone. Why do you think all the attacks happen there? It ain't because they can't read. It's because they know they won't be stopped.
When they try to control, this is how funny it is, right? It's the same way with 2 things, actually. It's serious. I'm being serious when I say this. When people were trying to sue Philip Morris for getting cancer for smoking cigarettes, okay?
Yeah, I thought that was horseshit.
Okay. And then the Marlboro man coming out saying, "Oh, you shouldn't smoke." Remember if you remember the mid '90s, that they were early '90s, they were all on this, stop smoking kick and this, that, and the other thing, and they made all these rules: no more smoking in bars, no more smoking in right. Yeah. The city of Cambridge, Massachusetts. Okay, you could be anything you want. You could fucking be anything and anything you want. They were the first fucking town or city rather in the state of Massachusetts to say no more no more smoking in a public building. And then the shit ball just fucking rolled from there, right? You can't smoke on airplanes anymore. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. Drugs. You can get drugs are all coke and fucking heroin. All that shit's illegal, right? You can't have them. They're more prevalent. You know what I'm saying? So take away all the guns.
What you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? bad people, they're going to get what they want. Ohio was on here earlier explaining to you how people in fucking jail wind up with phones and everything else. They're going to get it. See, people think it's all going to go away with gun control. Oh, but if you don't have this particular gun, this wouldn't happen. Your ass is sucking fucking pond water if you actually believe that.
Well, they walk around on their tiptoes and they try to believe in this utopia, and it will never happen because we are all human beings. And if we have the need, we will pick up a baseball bat and crush your skull if we're in the wrong mood and you piss us off. That's the way humans are. Sorry to say.
Yeah,
not all, but there's a big group of us.
Bugs the shit out of me, you know? It's like...
And I'll be damned if I'm going to sit in a mall or in my van helpless while some asshole puts a gun in my face.
Yeah.
The cops are there to clean up the mess and find evidence against somebody. They're not there to prevent shit, or there'd be a cop on every corner. But Nancy Pelosi's surrounded by them to prevent shit.
Yeah.
Exactly, Cat. See? You've been trained.
I just understand why we don't know about this shooter yet. You know what I mean? It's been almost 10 hours or so. Usually we know everything there is to know about these fucking people by now.
Yeah, but the media is trying to find a way to spin it to fit their fucking agenda and their narrative.
Well, my thing is that, not for nothing, I don't want to know about it, right? I don't want to know his name, her name, whatever. I don't want to know where they're from. I don't want to know what their mother, who's their mother is. I don't give a flying fuck. I'm sorry, I don't. They want the notoriety, and every time you fucking give their name and you put their fucking name across the fucking, they're getting what they want.
They get their 15 minutes of fame. Exactly.
Exactly. Don't give it to them.
I don't agree. I don't think they're all out there for their 15 minutes of
This
fame.
is why I won't.
They all have.
This is why I'll
like the
never
one
give
in-
credence.
So she had a fucking agenda.
Even if I wanted to know that. Go ahead.
I said the gender bender out there in Nashville or whatever. You know, she
That's
had
why
an
they
agenda.
won't release the manifesto.
Her agenda was she wanted to kill Christians at a school she went to that she was forced to go to that didn't believe in how she believed, and she wanted to force her ideas on people. And that she didn't do it to be famous.
Right, but she's a crackerjack.
But she did it. She did it to be vengeful. Because she thought that something in this world was against her, and she had to kill Christians or whatever. You know, there's something wrong with these people. It's not because they want to be famous. They're fucked up in the head.
And I get that, Ohio, but you know what? I don't care what the situation is, right? I don't care if they just broke out and fucking sing. I don't care if they just... I don't. I also don't think you should fucking put their picture... I just don't believe in it. Don't do it. I don't want to hear their name.
They're trying to force you to care about certain people.
Yeah, because they give you their whole fucking life story and all this other bullshit. They were a fucking nobody when they did it. They should fucking go out the same fucking way.
I don't know. I like to know more about them because I want to know there's a reason why they're doing it. You just don't go shoot up a place for no fucking reason. Just don't do it. There's a reason.
You and I don't do it, but look at how mentally disturbed society has become. They don't know what fucking bathroom to use. They can't tell you the definition of a fucking woman, and a dude with a penis can sit there and overrule or sway a judge on a swimming competition nowadays. Men are taking over women's sports because they can't fucking make it in the men's side of the sport. So they come over here and fucking take away everything that women have fucking built up for to be in these sports. So we can just be fucking wiped out. And then they want to sit there and broadcast this bullshit of a dude. I'm 365 days of being a female. No, you're a fucking fake. And they want to talk about that they went and got a designer pussy. No, bitch, you sat there and got the fucking knockoff.
Right. Hats off to Caitlyn Jenner. She's actually speaking up against a lot of bullshit that's going on.
And that is probably one of the very few. You've got society now where someone who can sit there and identify as a woman can sit there and go take it away from an actual woman in that sport. Society's fucking twisted. Of course there's going to be people doing fucked up shit because society itself is fucked up in its morals and ethics and everything else that kind of help structure everyday life.
But here we are once again with another one of these shootings, and I can almost guarantee 99.9%, I can almost guarantee that it wasn't, perpetrated by a MAGA hat wearing NRA conservative Republican.
No, it's probably a criminal they let out of jail again. That was, I went and looked at the video, and that was the comment I left. When did this guy get out of jail?
Or hell, they're saying he's Hispanic, so he might even be an illegal alien,
Yeah, it'd disappear until the next one. And don't you think it's funny they're all happening around Texas right now?
I'm honestly a little surprised it's happening in Texas.
Right. But I'll have to check a map because certain parts of Texas, because of people moving there, are becoming very liberal. And I would like to see if it happened in one of those areas.
Allen is kind of close to Dallas. Where I lived in Garland, it was just like 15-minute drive down the highway.
Right. Right on MCK, all the Cali people moving there.
Yeah.
And because
friends that live in Cali.
Texas is so pro-gun, it makes it a target for the liberals to take over.
But that's pretty funny. I had friends of mine moved from Marlin to Garland way back in the early
80s. No, redneck, I didn't see that, but I did see the one guy posed as a woman with a beard to go in and take the record away from the trans that got the record in the women's weightlifting.
Oh yeah, that was great.
That was pretty good.
Have you seen the video of the guy that goes to he's at a city hall or something like that, or he's at a council meeting or something, and he holds up his phone. He shows a video. He's like, "This video's on Twitter. It's going viral. This is a transgender in a women's restroom, standing in front of the mirror, masturbating their penis, wearing a dress right there in front of all these women." It's like, going viral.
That's you.
And this is what you want to let in our schools and stuff like that. And he's just like, I'm holding you all responsible for this.
They'll just blow it off. On to the next whatever. It's like that little girl who got raped by a boy wearing a dress in school during school hours. And the news never covered it.
How about the prisoner that was claimed to be transgender and got sent to a women's prison?
Oh yeah.
And then impregnating 12 women in prison.
Yeah, heard that one. That's good. Have a good night, MCK. Thanks for popping by, man. We're getting out of here pretty quick.
Have a good night, PNASCARs.
Said Matt.
Good night.
Attractive persons. It's ridiculous.
What was that, Ohio?
It's the latest thing. It's called MAPS, or you can't say pedophile anymore. You have to call them a minor attracted person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the cure for that.
Stop
it's
it.
called my bullet.
You know what? I have a cure for it. I'll show you a picture of it.
Just go to jail. Call it a day.
No.
Have a good night, PNASCARs. Nice to
We
see you.
just need to have open season.
It's called penicillin.
There you go.
Damn. 445 comments tonight. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Right?
Ain't quite the record, but it's pushing it.
Yep.
Mike, you want to put on a wig and so we can beat the record and get more comments?
Do you want me to put on a wig? What's to let Ohio put on a wig? He's got the tits for it.
Yeah, but he don't have the right hat.
In Tennessee, they are talking about hanging as a form of execution. Good. I hope it's public too.
Yeah, that's going to raise some issues. I don't disagree with it, but it's going to raise some issues.
Hey, listen.
I bet you if we go back to hanging, a lot of shit will quit happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not on my top 10 to die list by choking.
Right.
Or a broken neck.
What? It's just as quick as it's just as quick as being injected with fucking drugs.
It's not the actual part happening. It's the whole standing there with a hood on and they're putting a noose around my neck. That part is what bugs me.
Okay, but are you sitting there thinking about doing some fucked up shit that's gonna get you to be hung?
I know MCK, but I can't do the latter part of that. I can't do the
No, I don't think that way.
The firearm. So he's probably somewhere on the list, you know? That's enough fucked up, just owning a poo-poo is, enough to have people want to fucking hang us.
I'm sorry. I do not own any pew-pews. My emotional support 1911 identifies as a cane corso.
Right.
That's epic.
And it identifies as what?
A cane corso. It's one of the dogs I want, but they're like super expensive.
Right. Kind of me, and I want one of them cats that look like a fucking leopard. What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, they're so gorgeous.
They are pretty.
There's a small version one I want that looks like more. It has real small spots with the leopard rings and shit. And then there's a bigger Maine Coon.
Maine Coon, yeah.
My mother had one. Long hair. They have long hair. They're beautiful cats.
It's a pretty big cat too. The only other cat I would want is a lynx.
That's perfect, MCK.
I like money cat. Money cats are cool looking.
Guy I used to work with has 2 bobcats and a mountain lion.
Oh, dude.
So jealous. I want a bobcat and a mountain lion.
Bobcat, yeah. Mountain lion, not so much. They're a little big.
Hold on.
Hey, let me tell you something. Bobcat will fucking ruin you out day real quick.
Oh, I know.
No, but think about it. I could name one of them Jesus, and then I can get a parrot, and I could teach it to say, "Watch out for Jesus." And then if somebody breaks into my house, the parrot will say, "Watch out for Jesus," and then the cat can bite them and kill them. Win-win.
He was warned. I like how your brain works.
Right. It's on point tonight, isn't it?
I have my days.
See what caffeine will do to you? We should ban caffeine. Fentanyl's okay, but they should ban caffeine.
I like to get some fentanyl right now.
The only thing I do with fentanyl is set up some people to get busted with it. Certain individuals.
Ooh, I know a girl that I could totally set up. Hey, you want to make a road trip?
I don't think my vehicle would go that direction. Literally.
That's all right. We'll take my Volvo. I even got headphones. You can put a DVD in the back seat and just watch DVD the whole trip.
Just watch the cold sweat start. And like, oh my God, no. Still living in the same place, so I know the address. Go figure. Huh. What, 2-3 years later?
Right.
Oh, I noticed a certain video was taken down off a certain channel. All right, folks, let's get out of here before I'm like, I hate when Dish goes to bed and just leaves us here. Horrible. I want to thank, whoa, my computer just freaked out. Thank everybody on the outside. Great chat tonight. Apologize any feelings got hurt, but when you have open adult conversations, it's a chance you're taking. It could happen. Everybody loves everybody. Don't be mad. Come back. We all love you. And
I
we all
love Ohio.
Yeah, but Ohio's just, it kind of grows on you, you know?
Well, look at them. Of course it's going to grow on you.
Nobody said nothing to hurt nobody's feelers. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Tune in to find Shalisa tomorrow with the Fat Guy Anonymous. Is that what it is? No, Fatwood Anonymous. It's usually a pretty fun chat.
That's going to be my new chat. Fat Guy.
Yeah. Hey, we should start a new chat. We should do like one on Monday night. Fat Man fucking Anonymous.
There you go.
Actually,
if we could actually get the real Fat Man on there.
It'd be hard to get him to do YouTube.
I know, but he made a couple videos. He was trying a little bit.
I know. I could make a call. I might be able to coax him.
Play nice, everybody.